Mega Mike the Movie Man here with an awesome pregame show for you all out there. We are here to get hyped and prepare for the November Criterion sale. So I got an awesome panel of blue tubers here today. We're going to give you guys some awesome recommendations and just have a good time talking Criterion titles. And I'm going to let you guys know how all the rounds are going to be set up after I introduce all our co-hosts for the evening. So let's go ahead and bring in our first blue tuber out there, and they can kind of introduce themselves to you all and promote themselves a little bit. So we got the 4K lowdown here.
Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm so glad you were able to join us because we're in the same county. I had to have you on here.
We
So
are. We're practically neighbors. So yeah, it's got to happen at some point. So I'm really happy to be on the show. I can't say I'm the level of collector for Criterion as the other guys on the panel. So this is going to be exciting for me just to get to know the guys and what they have. But for those of you that don't know, I'm David from the 4K Lowdown. I do a live stream on Mondays and Tuesdays for, top 10 videos, unboxings, all that good stuff. So come and check it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for being here. And once again, everybody, make sure you are subscribing out there to our fellow blue tubers. I know they appreciate it. And then if you all can smash the like button as you join in here and leave us tons of comments and questions, we'll definitely get those answered on the live stream here today. But let's go ahead and bring in KB Loves Movies. How you doing out there?
What's going on, Mike? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm so glad you were able to join us. I know you have a good amount of titles out there, so I'm glad you can bring your knowledge into this stream for us. Go ahead and promote yourself for everybody out there.
Sure thing. KB Loves Movies. It's Devil's Night. I ain't afraid of no ghosts anyway. My channel's known mostly for conversations. I also have movie reviews and also, I don't know, out of the theater movie reactions, kind of like what Mike does. But happy to be here, happy to share some Criterion love, especially as we go into November.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. And then let's go ahead and I was just on this person's live stream last night, and it was a fun time. It was so awesome. So let's go ahead and bring Tim in here. Tim, I know this is, of course, your favorite part. Go ahead and promote yourself out there.
Man, I'm so excited to talk Criterion tonight. Like, you don't know how excited. I'm pumped for November. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. I love live streaming. I love talking Criterion. I love being on panels with amazing people like y'all. So this is going to be a great time. Anyone that didn't check out my stream last night, though, that Mike was on, and another guest that's coming on was also on it. But yeah, check it out. Go to my channel, top 5 or top 25 horror movies voted on by you, the community. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
All right. Yeah. And once again, it was such a fun live stream. So I'm so glad you were able to, be on my live stream as well, because last night it was just a blast. So hopefully we can make this another really fun night preparing for this Criterion sale. So let's go ahead and bring on Bob. Hey Bob, this is another person I do a ton of live streams with. So go ahead, Bob, introduce yourself to the channel out there.
Can I first just say how much I love Tim's passion? It's why I love having him on my channel too. But yeah, this guy, and he's to my right, which but technically the left from you guys. But yeah, so it fits being my right hand man. But yeah, Bob's Blu-rays, YouTube and Instagram, no TikTok or Twitter. But yeah, go follow on Instagram, support whatever, and subscribe to the channel. But subscribe to all these other people as well, and tonight will be fun. I do not own. I have a good amount of Criterion, but most of them are boxed up, so I just had to pull some random titles that I actually have out.
All right, and everybody's channel link should be in the description below. If I did that correctly, I'm trying to be a good host tonight, so hopefully I did that correctly. If anything is wrong with the links, just let me know out there, and we can always get that fixed later. But yep, it's all down there. So yeah, definitely we will all appreciate everybody subscribing, enjoying some videos out there. But yeah, we still got one more person to bring in that is truly a expert in Criterion. When I think, all right, there's a Criterion channel person out there, I gotta talk about this person. So James, come on in. Let everybody know about your channel out there, because you're my Criterion expert. You're always talking
no.
Criterion.
You are building me up too much. I'm going to disappoint. I'm going to lower the expectations. Oh, how are you doing tonight? I really do appreciate the invite, and looking forward to the night and just hearing all the recommendations from everybody on this panel. But really do appreciate the invite, Mike. And I love your and your wife's out of the theater reactions. I love those. I love those shorts. They're excellent.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. I always appreciate the feedback from everybody out there. You got to let me know what kind of content you want to see on the channel so I can keep doing more of it. So
yeah, those are great.
Out of the theater reactions, keep doing them. So, and I love going to the theater just for the whole movie theater experience. So it's like a win-win. So definitely we'll keep doing those. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to let you guys kind of know what the breakdown is for tonight's Criterion November pregame sale stream. So we're going to have 3 rounds here. And our first round, we're going to recommend to you all some Criterion titles out there. So our top Criterion titles, 3 to 5 titles that are just our favorite movies from the Criterion label. And I know we all have different personalities out there, different tastes in movies. So I'm sure these titles are going to look way different. At least that's what I'm guessing. But we're going to get you a lot of recommendations, because I know everybody has some backups in case somebody pulls one of their favorite titles. At least know I have a decent amount of backups, even though I don't have a massive collection myself. But yeah, that's going to be our first round, just recommending out some of our favorite top Criterion titles. And then our second round is going to be Criterion titles we're excited about to pick up in this November sale, because we all know we always wait till November or July, the sale times of Criterion. For the most part, at least a lot of us will do that just so we can get, save 50% off. Yeah. Because any other time they're pretty expensive, and I want to save you guys some money out there. That's why I do my deal videos every week. And so hopefully we can at least, tell you titles we're excited to pick up that we're going to spend our hard-earned money on this month. But that's going to be our second round, just talking about titles we're excited that we don't have yet, but we want to pick up in the sale. All right, next is going to be our third round, which is going to be any titles we want to see from Criterion. Now, that could be like specific, actually movie titles, if we have specific names in mind, or just types of titles or genres or things from a certain director or actors. It could be anything like that. So that's going to be a fun round, because I have no idea how that round's going to go. That's going to be an interesting round.
Yeah, I'm excited for that round.
Yeah, that one's going to be interesting, because I'm going to see kind of what people came up with with that one, because I know I wasn't super specific with it. And then we will have a bonus round towards the end of any honorable mentions of Criterion titles maybe no one pulled yet, but we still want to recommend out to people, or just cautionary Criterion tales, because I know I've made I guess some mistakes when buying Criterion, so just want to let people know of those kind of fun stories. So we'll go ahead and get started. And if any blue tuber wants to jump in, when a title's mentioned and you just kind of want to share your quick thoughts on it, even if somebody is showing it off, feel free. We want to make this interactive. So once again, leave comments, questions below, everybody, and we'll make it a fun night. But let's take a look first at our comments before we get into the first round. I want to remember to do that. All right, so we got Basement Blues in the house. Yes,
Tony. Hey, Tony.
Yes, Tony. Good evening, you good people. Thank you so much, Basement Blues, for being here. You're such an awesome, nice person. So you were on the Tim stream last night, and that was a lot of fun. So thank you for being here. We got Codebreaker. Hey, what's up, everyone?
What's up, Chris? It's my best friend. I've known him for like 20 years.
Oh, that's so awesome. And you got is that the Jack Skeleton right there? Awesome movie.
Yes,
great movie. Perfect. And then one of my long-term fans here, Craig. Hi, Mike and guest. He was just on watching my last live stream, my Black Adam post game show. So he's doing the double feature today, and that's what I recommended out to people: double feature live stream here today. All right, we got Magic Hands. What's up, everyone?
Mike?
What's up, Magic
Hello,
Hands?
hello.
All right, we got Basement Blues. I currently have 212 Criterion titles in the collection, and I have a ton on my wish list that I hope to buy over time. Well, you definitely have way more than me. Basement
He's
Blues,
only missing about 1,000 to get all like what 1,200 that they have now.
Yeah, more or less.
I was actually looking through Criterion's site today too, and looking at stuff that I want to get. And I realized how much stuff is on DVD of theirs that still hasn't made the upgrade to Blu-ray.
Exactly.
So much of that. Mhm.
And it'll never happen because I've heard that Criterion kind of regrets like putting out Armageddon and The Rock on DVD to begin with.
Yeah, there's those, but there is also a lot of titles that I still feel Criterion would release nowadays that are still stuck on DVD.
Yep.
Yeah.
I keep some of them for that reason.
Well, I heard the Armageddon one in particular. It's just a night and day difference between that little bare bones Blu-ray that they have out there. So
Yeah.
a lot of people keep the DVD one just for the special features alone.
Like,
Exactly.
I didn't actually realize Spartacus had a 3-disc DVD Criterion. We have a 4K from the studio, but the DVD one is loaded with way more special features.
Yeah.
Now, did I hear that correctly? That they actually have VHS too?
Do they? They have Laserdisc. Did they have VHS?
I don't know if they
I don't
had.
think so.
Okay.
They had Laserdisc. Yeah.
Okay, it must have been Laserdisc I had heard about then. I thought somebody told me that they had VHS. It wasn't me who
don't
thought
think
that
so.
because I'd never seen one of them.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about Criterion is that they have so many titles out there. It's really difficult to be like a completionist with that boutique label because I mean, like, how do you do that? Especially if you started collecting later. So it's kind of like, I guess, a choose your own journey when you're collecting Criterion. And everybody's collection looks way different.
They're the OG boutique too, when you think about it. They're the granddaddy of all of this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they started the boutique labels, right? If I'm
essentially,
I'm guessing.
Yeah, they pioneered a lot of the special feature formats that we see in terms of like audio commentaries, on discs and supplements. They sort of paved the way for a lot of that.
All right,
with their Laserdisc days.
Yep. All right, we got Mega Movie Mom in here. Hi, I enjoyed Ticket to Paradise mostly. There was one spot with too much fighting, so I guess I covered my ears. Yeah, my mom definitely likes the romance movies. So if you like romance, and Ticket to Paradise.
I do want to see Ticket in Paradise because I like Caitlin Dever a lot, and she's in that. So, and I also like Julia Roberts too.
Yeah, I thought the movie was, pretty average. It felt very like Hallmarky to me. It wasn't bad, but I mean, just wasn't anything like super different than I've seen. But
and that's your mom in the chat, you said?
Yeah, there we go. Yep, that's a Mega Movie Mom there.
Oh, okay. Nice. Cool.
All right, and then we got Kenny here, another longtime fan. Yo, what's up, Mega Mike? Oh, what's up, Kenny? You missed our Black Adam post game show, so I know you're a big superhero fan out there. You'll want to check that out definitely later. All right, let's go ahead and get into our first round here, and we'll go ahead and have the 4K lowdown start us off with this one. So 4K lowdown. Let's see. Oh wait, no, that made me.
That's you.
Oops. Nope, and I totally removed you.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm down here.
Rearranged.
I rearranged you. Sorry.
Magic hands.
There we go. Sorry.
Oh,
hey guys, I'm still getting familiar with the StreamYard, so please have a little grace with me. But there we go.
Okay. Well, some of you might know I'm relatively new to boutique collecting. For the most part, just started like January, and my first Criterion movies I bought at the last Barnes and Noble sale over the summer. So I've just barely started to scratch the surface on my Criterion collection. So the reason why Mega Mike, the movie man, said 3 to 5 titles is because I only own 3 Criterion titles. But these are ones that I absolutely wanted to get. So I wanted to talk about those. The first one, my most recent purchase, was Drive My Car. The Japanese one won Best Foreign Film, I believe. But just an amazing movie. And it's super long, so you got to be ready for a marathon. But a great movie, and this was a really awesome watch. I really liked it.
I love that one.
It's a good movie.
Looks great on that Blu-ray too. I wish it was a 4K, but it looks
Yeah, the
fantastic.
4K. I thought it might have been 4K, but it was just a Blu-ray transfer. But it was really good
Looks
quality.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the one thing that really surprises me about that movie, like you said, it's super long. You don't even get the title scene until what, like 40 something minutes?
Yeah,
into
it's like
Mhm.
40,
45
45 minutes
minutes,
into the movie, and you get
Yeah.
oh, okay. But yeah, I don't see that too often. But
Yeah.
that was really, really good movie, and
Mhm.
it's definitely worth watching and worth grabbing if you guys don't have it.
Yeah.
So this brings me to the 2 movies that I absolutely wanted to get on Criterion. I was able to get, and the first one is The Princess Bride.
Awesome.
Nice.
And it's the one that looks like the book and all that.
Mhm.
It's another really good transfer. I like it, but I really like the storybook in the beginning. So it actually has the storybook in here that you can have alongside it. That was really cool. And then the other one is something that I absolutely had to have, and that was Seven Samurai.
Nice.
Great one.
I gotta have Kurosawa, and this is an amazing film.
Mhm.
Definitely worth having. So these were my must-haves and my only Criterions in my collection. But I can't wait to get more.
Great
Yeah,
choices.
Able to
That's
collect.
awesome.
Yeah, and I had a Princess Bride in my pile too, so I'll definitely swap that one out for another one. But this is such a good movie, very easy watching. I mean,
So fun.
just so quotable too. All the lines in it, very fun movie. So yeah, and just like you were saying with the book layout, really really cool design. That's
Yeah.
something that makes Criterion different out there. They have those awesome unique designs on a lot of their titles. I still need to actually see Seven Samurai. I always hear that one get recommended. I've never seen it yet. So
Yeah.
You've seen iterations of it. If you've
Yeah.
seen Magnificent Seven or
Magnificent
anything
Seven. There's so
Mhm.
many. Yeah, there's so many incarnations
yeah.
of Seven Samurai all throughout movie history. Because this is, if I remember correctly, it's 54. I think it's 1954 when this came out, or 57.
Mhm.
It's
Something like
really
that, yeah.
old, but yeah, it's beautiful.
I enjoyed Magnificent Seven, the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was
did
good.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I liked it.
and how easy watching is that movie? Is it a really long movie?
It's pretty long.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Is it a 4-hour movie?
4 hours. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
4
4
hours.
hours.
I was gonna say it's definitely longer than Drive My Car.
Yeah.
Oh my
207.
goodness.
207.
Yeah.
So I
It's,
gotta plan a day
So
around.
So
what? 3.5? Yeah.
Yeah.
About 3.5
Just
hours.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's so easy to watch though. Even though language barriers aside, it's real easy to watch. It flows really well.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like 3.5 hours.
Oh, so I'm glad you told me. So it is a foreign language film then.
Yeah, it's Japanese.
Yes.
Okay.
Kurosawa.
Yes.
Kurosawa.
Yeah, much like Drive My Car is Japanese.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, great titles that you picked. I'm sure a lot of people like those ones, or at least now it's on their radar. So I'm glad you mentioned those. All right, let's go to Tim now. We'll have Tim, since you're next here in line.
Okay. So when I think about recommending for Criterion, I generally think about American and British, just because not everyone is into foreign movies. Criterion is amazing for foreign language films. Amazing. That's not everyone's cup of tea. So I'm going to recommend ones that I think are a little more straightforward for people. And this one's not going to be a surprise, but Summertime.
Hey.
Yeah.
I knew
Nice
that was
to
coming.
that.
But Katharine Hepburn is amazing in this movie. This is basically, it's beautifully shot. It's just her on a trip to Venice and falling for a married man, and it's a beautiful movie. Absolutely beautiful movie. I love it so much. So it gets my number one recommendation right here. Next up, also not a shocker, but I recommend the hell out of this movie, Night of the Hunter.
That's a good movie.
Not even gonna joke. I'd say Robert Mitchum is one of the most terrifying evil villains in film. He is. This movie is the 50s, which generally the 50s was a kind of light and fluffy decade for the most part. A lot of rom-coms and monster movies and science fiction stuff. Not really as much deep, impactful stuff. There is stuff out there, but it's kind of more light and fluffy, fun decade. This is not a fun movie, like whatsoever. It is a dark, dreary, depressing movie, but cinematography is incredible. The acting is top notch. I mean, this is a home run of a movie. I'd recommend that one so much. Next one up, we got Flight of the Phoenix. Huge James Stewart fan. And you also get Richard Attenborough, which if you like Jurassic Park, you already know him. He's Hammond, but his character is actually great in this. James Stewart is generally known as he plays the everyman. He's a lovable actor. He's kind of a dick in this movie, and Richard Attenborough is the nicer guy of the two. But yeah, it's a plane crash in the desert, and they have to try to figure out how to survive. Really cool movie. Blu-ray looks great. Good special features on it.
How does that one compare to the remake?
So I actually dig the remake also. I think the character work is better in this one. The remake has a better, more exciting pace to it. Like the remake plays out more like an action movie, I guess you could say, in spots. Right. This doesn't, but the character work I think is a little better in this. This is longer too, though. This is like 45 minutes longer, something like that. But yeah, great movie. I've got Smooth Talk here. Laura Dern, Williams. This is an incredible movie. It's Laura Dern plays a teenage girl, kind of, I guess you'd call it coming to her own with her sexuality. She's only like 15 in the movie, trying to understand where she fits in. And there's this character played by Treat Williams. You don't really know much about him other than he's a creepy, weird psychopath by the end of the movie. It's great. It's a fantastic movie. The soundtrack is a banger. It's a damn good soundtrack. And this thing is packed with special features. Wow. You get short films from the director. This thing is absolutely loaded. I highly recommend this one for $20.
I want to see that, so I want to buy that. I think maybe November.
It's so good.
That is so good.
And last one, love Cary Grant, love Audrey Hepburn. I mean, I got Audrey up there. So yeah, Audrey only has one movie in the Criterion collection, and this is it. Luckily, this is a blast of a movie, and this is kind of like a Hitchcock movie that isn't Hitchcock. It plays out, it feels so much like a Hitchcock movie. You could insert this into his filmography, and people might think it actually is his movie. Super fun. You get Walter Matthau in a small role. It's a blast. Yeah, I love all 5 of these movies, and I would recommend them to anyone. None of these are foreign language, so there's no barrier there. They're just all fun movies. Well, Night of the Hunter's not fun, but it's amazing.
Yeah, you might have just sold me on that last one, Charade, because when I heard Hitchcock, I'm a big Hitchcock fan. So I'm interested in that title now, and I had no idea it existed. Yeah. So all the titles you pulled right now, I don't have any of them, but they all sound really interesting. So I'm glad we're doing this.
Ride, man. Charade's got 85 twists and turns throughout that movie.
Yeah, if you like Hitchcock, though, you can't go wrong with that one. It plays out a lot like one of his movies.
It's the best movie Hitchcock didn't make.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have that one. I just haven't watched it. I need to watch that one.
Oh, definitely.
James,
definitely watch it.
I need to watch that one.
Yeah.
But that Smooth Talk is so good. And that there's a supplement on there, Joyce at 34. That's one of the best supplements I've seen on any Criterion disc in the last few years. It is so good.
So I have to see that. It was on my list to buy. I missed out on the July sale. I didn't buy a single one. It was actually over like July 31st when I went to go do it, and then they rolled all the prices back. So I don't know if I'll get much in November, maybe a few titles. Just there's so many sales. It's so hard to keep up.
Yeah.
James, I'm trying to find it on the back here quickly. Who was the music was all set by, there was one person in charge of the music, and it's someone really famous, and I can't think who it is.
I
And
forget.
but Laura Dern got the movie because on her answering machine was his music playing.
Oh, okay.
So that's how she got the role. I just thought that was interesting. It's someone super famous, and I can't think who it is. But the soundtrack,
I can't think of it either.
It's great.
Really good. And that Blu-ray looks great.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. I want to buy the one sheet poster of this because I love this, and that's the original artwork. It screams that 80s pop synthy look to it. I love it so much.
So it's a very like 80s feeling kind of movie then.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 85.
You might have just sold me on that one too.
Right
I
up
love
my
80s
alley then.
movies.
Puts you right there.
Yep.
Tim, are you talking Little Feet? The band
No.
Little Feet?
No.
Or the guy from Little Feet?
You got me curious now. I'm about to
Yeah, I gotta know.
Bill Payne. The guy's name is Bill Payne.
Okay. Yeah, I see in the your music composer, but there was a no. All right, that's it. The musical director. It was James Taylor.
Oh wow.
That's it. So James Taylor was in charge of the actual, like, not the composing, but the musical direction. And
wow.
her answering machine had James Taylor music on it when she was called about the role.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get caught up in the chat here because I totally forgot about it and we have tons of comments.
I talked too long. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. It's all good. So Kenny says, "Oh no, whoops! We'll have to see the replay. I saw it spoiler free. So thanks for that." Yeah, my Black Adam post game show. The majority of it was spoiler free until the last couple questions, and I give a fair spoiler warning once we get to there. So yeah, you're gonna be able to watch mostly all of it. So if you want to watch it on the replay, definitely appreciate it. All right, we got Mika in here. Hello, Mika.
Hey, Mika.
What's up, sis?
Thanks for stopping by. All right, got Basement Blue saying hi to Mika. Hi, Tony. All right, Drive My Car was a great film. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Besides the fact that it was super long. So I don't know if I would have had it that long. I kind of would have took out the first 40 minutes maybe and then just played the rest. And I think it still would have worked overall. But I mean, those are my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then let's go to Evil Kangaroo, one of my longtime supporters here. Hi, Mike and all. I don't have any Criterion titles, but I'm happy to watch the show. Oh, thank you so much, Evil Kangaroo. We all appreciate that out there.
Welcome, Evil.
And that reminds me, make sure you smash that like button, everybody. The likes totally help, so we appreciate it.
Well, Kangaroo, you'll get some titles after tonight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
definitely. You're gonna get some recommendations. Absolutely. Craig says, "What did you guys think of Bullet Train?" I enjoyed Bullet Train overall.
I liked it.
It was
Ooh,
fun.
you got the still,
I
but
didn't get to it yet. Too much.
I haven't
focus
picked it
on
up
horror
yet,
this
but I
month.
did enjoy it in the theater.
I'll wait on that steel book. It's $42.99. I can't stand that. The extra $7 they charge because they
It
put
has
some
art cards,
in there.
Bob. There's art
Yeah.
cards in it.
They charge us $7 extra because of some art cards. I love it.
Because it's Sony, that's why.
They could keep those art cards.
They can keep. I still have those wrapped, but
But
actually, I got mine for $37.99, so it was a little bit better.
If other
That's good.
studios catch on to that, though, where they could throw in something that costs them 5 cents and upcharge you $7, like, we're not in a good spot if other studios take notice of that.
Oh God, I hope not.
yeah, that's why I can't buy that at that price. No way. Just
Yeah, they
Isn't
did
gonna
that
happen.
crap with the what was
Resident
it?
Evil.
The, Uncharted. and
Uncharted.
Resident Evil.
Uncharted, that was a racket too. That at least gave you a little cheap metal ring.
You get that
Might-
stupid,
might-
you got that stupid necklace, the ring.
That might have cost 10 cents instead of the
Right.
5 cents for
Maybe.
the cards.
Maybe
I haven't
15
seen that
with the
movie.
string.
Is it good? Is
Uncharted?
good?
It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
one-time.
okay.
It was-
It's
it was
Because
okay.
I love the games. I love the
Oh,
games on the PlayStation.
I love the game.
Then you might be
too.
Not
insulted by
nearly
the
as
movie
good.
if you like
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the more you love the games, more likely chance you'll
The less you'll
dislike
like the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
but
think. Yeah.
But if you separate it from the games, it's
Yeah.
okay for what it is.
Yeah.
Once again,
It's
not
kinda
great,
fun.
not terrible, just kind of
Yeah.
in the middle.
It's
Yeah.
kind of
That was
okay.
a fun
Yeah.
try. I love the whole treasure hunting subgenre, so I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, it's just it's not something I'd write home about. That's all. But it's nothing special. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, And in comparison to the games are so cinematic in themselves. Like it's tough to live up to that. So
Yeah.
What I think the worst offense of it is Tom Holland is Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg is Mark Wahlberg. Like
Yeah.
they don't get into those characters at all. You just see those actors.
Yeah. I almost feel like I love the game so much, especially like the last one of Thieves End, that I'm just sort of good with that. I know my Nathan Drake and Sully from that, and I don't really need to see that movie probably.
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're good skipping it if you really don't want to see it. All right, Kenny says, I've heard people raving about Seven Samurai. I really want to see. Yeah, I hear everybody raving about it. I still need to see it myself.
Yeah.
Do a Criterion Channel trial and just watch it that way before you decide to buy it. It's a good recommendation for everybody this month. If you just want to see some of these titles before you go to your half price sale, do a trial of the Criterion Channel. Watch them on there if they are available. Most of them are, and then go buy which ones you like.
I wish Criterion Channel would do a little better on their advertising, where a lot of people don't realize they're more than just Criterion. Like they carry a lot of movies on there that they might fit into their idea of what Criterion is, but they're not actually Criterion movies. There will be a lot of big popular like 70s, 80s, some 60s stuff. Like there's a lot of great stuff on there. They need to advertise that a little bit better, because some people legitimately think it's only Criterion.
Well, like this month, they're going to have a lot of classic Fox movies, which is great, but you're not going to get that on Criterion, and you're probably not going to get it from Disney anytime soon either. So this might be the best way to see a lot of those movies.
Yeah.
So in terms of titles, because I haven't really checked it out at all, they have a decent amount then, it seems like they can compete with other streaming services.
It's like a repository of movies.
They rotate a lot too. Like it'll be for the month, this is the theme, and they'll have a bunch of movies in that theme, and they rotate around constantly.
All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, Eddie's Film and Stuff.
Eddie.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Eddie.
Hello, Eddie.
All right, Mika says, I've gotten into Criterion more this year. Got some great recommendations from James and Celeste. Can't wait to next month to take advantage of the sale. Have a lot to grab for our theme month. There's just so many titles out there. And then also the other sale going on right now is Arrow, right? Because the Arrow
that got extended.
So I'm kind of torn in between both those sales. I'm like, maybe I go half and half, like Criterion, some Arrow, but I'm like, it's gonna add up this month.
Piggybacking off of Mika, by the way, for anyone that's watching that likes Criterion a lot, I do recommend checking out Celeste. Excellent knowledge on Criterion and all this types of stuff. Great knowledge.
Definitely know this stuff.
Celeste de la Cabra. Yep.
All right, Kenny says, I'm surprised I haven't heard of most of these movies. They're more classic, right? I guess you would call it, because Criterion's more classic, but they have some new titles too, but the majority of their stuff is definitely more classic.
Yeah.
Right? Is that how you all would describe Criterion?
Well, I mean, it's classic and contemporary. It's sort of, they deal in a lot of, classic films, a lot of art house type, cinema, but they do have a fair amount of contemporary films and more, approachable films as well. So it's a pretty good mix,
Yeah, they've even got some like newer like Netflix stuff, right? With Uncut Gems and
Marriage Story, when that Irishman. Yeah.
Roma.
Driving My Cars last year, so
that's important classic and contemporary films. That's what they say.
And for genre, I would say more focus on what would say like drama, but they have other stuff too. They have thriller, suspense. They have a little bit of comedy in there, but
I'd say
drama?
Drama probably covers a good chunk of their stuff, though.
Some horror, some sci-fi.
Yeah.
So probably less action then, right? Not too many action titles.
If straight up like action as you think of it, not as much. They have like foreign action, like Police Story and stuff like that. Like
but, and you have to think like most of the major studios hold on to their money makers, which in a lot of cases you're talking action, you're talking sci-fi. Those are the things that a studio will be slow to get rid of or even license out to people. So Criterion and Arrow and all that, they won't get that as quickly.
Yeah, which is a bummer because some of the stuff I even have in my pile for when we get to the third round is stuff that hasn't had a re-release in a while now, and Criterion would freaking knock it out of the park, man.
All right, and then we got a Culture Trini here. What's up, people? Did someone
What's up,
say
Culture?
Criterion?
Red
Yes.
Red.
We're all talking Criterion here today. So if
Oh,
you love
yes.
Criterion, this is a stream for you. All right, let's take a look. Mika says, got my pen ready to write down some films. See, that's I should have a paper and pen by now, and I never bring it. I need to because I'm like, all these titles sound awesome, but I guess I can watch the replay too. So.
I made notes through all of Tim's movies.
They're good ones.
Yep.
No, you didn't miss anything.
Yeah, we're still on
No, it was just me.
round one. So
He was here.
Totally
He was
fine.
here for it, I think.
all right, Kenny says, how many movies do you think you own but haven't seen? So I kind of have a rule for myself. Like if I buy the movie, I'm gonna watch it, and I put a limit on like I will not buy more movies until I get through my stack. But I know a lot of people are different out there. I know a lot of people. Well, I guess I don't know what the word is, like over collect, or I don't know. How would you guys describe it out there that collect a little bit more, maybe?
FOMO. So I blind buy a lot of stuff where I'm worried about missing it, and it's something that I feel pretty confident I want, and I don't want to miss that steel book or miss that collector's set or something like that. So I do blind buy that stuff. If it's a general studio title, I can wait on it right now. So
yeah, if you miss out, you pay $90 as opposed to 20.
Yeah,
I refuse to reward scalpers. That's why I don't pay for like if I'm paying on eBay for something, it's at a fair price. I will not reward scalpers. I will never support somebody like that.
The good thing is generally if you've been watching movies long enough, you've developed your own taste. You could read a description and know the actors and the filmmakers behind it and have an idea on if it's worth blind buying. It doesn't always work, but you can have some scope of an idea on, hey, this would be my type of movie.
Yeah.
As a collector, even if I blind buy something I don't like, I'm not disappointed because it was my choice to buy it. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't complain. I have friends that recommend movies I might hate, and I'll be like, hey, what's your next movie? This one didn't work out, but in my opinion, they get to know my taste more and more over time, recommending more movies to me. So a lot of times my friends get to know my taste and they're like, okay, you know what? Skip that. I was going to recommend something to you. I'll give you something else because you hated that one. I have a good feeling you're not going to like this.
Yeah, so I'm
throw
not
enough
sure
darts, you'll hit a
like
bullseye.
Innkeepers.
Yeah. If it's something like a steel book where I don't want to miss out, I'll day one it. If it's a blind buy, I try to watch it in the first couple of weeks. But if it's something that I've already seen and I just want to add it to my collection, it could sit unopened for months. I don't care. Because when I'm ready to watch it, I have it. I don't have to go looking for it or order it, even if it's like a Prime order or whatever.
Anyone who follows my channel knows majority of my stuff are blind. Well, half of my stuff is blind buys, but what people don't see is me watching the titles. They just see me show it off and say, I haven't seen this one, so I can't talk about it. So then you get these comments like Bob doesn't watch movies. And it's like, well, you know what? You go follow my letterbox. 9 out of every 10 movies I watch, I'd say 90% are movies I haven't seen before because I want to watch stuff I haven't seen versus stuff I've seen a lot. But every once in a while, you're just in the mood to watch something you like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, go ahead, James.
Oh, yeah. I just think I found myself to be like over the years, I'm buying less stuff than I used to, and I'm trying to be a little bit more selective, for that reason of just, trying to watch things as soon as possible after I get them, because I did find myself, buying stuff, and then a couple years later, I'm like, I still haven't seen that movie I bought 5 years ago. So I'm trying to cut back on some of that.
I'll do that with I haven't seen that movie, and then a new 4K Steelbook comes out, and I'll buy that before I've even seen the Blu-ray I have.
So this might be kind of cheating on me to show something right now, but one of the best feelings to me, I love it. Well, the best feelings in collecting, at least, is when you pull something off the shelf though that has been there for quite a while, and you pop it in and you love it. It's like your own personal blockbuster. So like Night Train to Munich has been sitting. It was sitting on my shelf for a couple of years until I pulled it off and watched it either earlier this year or late last year.
What
And
you
I loved
thinking?
it. It's a fantastic
It's a
movie.
great movie.
So
Great movie.
Not seen that one. Okay.
it's a great feeling. So yeah, it's my own personal blockbuster. If it doesn't work out, all well. But if it does work out, I'm like, yes, I have a gem and it's already in my collection.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, I know for me, like for most of the Criterions I buy, they're just straight up blind buys, films I haven't seen before, directors in some cases I had never heard of. So I'm getting exposed to their work for the first time. And in my experience, I've been pretty pleased for the most part. It's like 95% of the time, I'm pretty happy with what I saw. But, I also recognize that that's not for everybody, so.
Yeah.
But I just love the experimentation and the discovery of just new films and directors I never heard of, and just new films and just seeing something new and interesting. So usually works out.
All right. Let's go to our next comment here. I think Uncharted worked pretty decently as a buddy adventure. How to separate it from the games though, since it was my favorite game franchise. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
If you separate it, then it works all right.
That's a good thought.
All right, Mika says, KB, I have that Criterion channel subscription. We've been loving it. Well, that's good.
It's great. Nice.
Culture
Yes.
training.
Yes.
HBO
Yes.
Max
Oh,
is
HBO
another good
Max,
place
yeah.
for Criterion movies.
Yes.
HBO Max is the best streaming service of the major ones.
Yeah.
Their depth in their catalog is fantastic.
Yeah. They have a partnership with TCM, which carries a lot of Janus Films, Criterion. So that partnership allows you to see a lot of Criterion films that way too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're the highest quality for streaming too.
Streaming. Yeah. Audio too.
Yeah,
Better than a lot of them.
they're a fantastic service. Like I'd pick them above any of them easily.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Craig. Oh, this is a good one. Who's everyone's favorite
that's a good one there.
actor? If I had to pick one right now, I'd probably go Leonardo DiCaprio. Just because when I hear this question, I always think, oh, if I heard just based on the name, that I would get excited for the movie. Any Leo movie that comes out, I need to see. Even though I didn't like the last one, was it Don't Look Up? I didn't like the movie, but if I hear Leo's in it, I need to watch it anyway. 4K Lowdown, how about you?
Denzel Washington, hands down. Definitely my favorite. Anything that he is
love
in,
that.
I will buy
So
it.
good, Mississippi Masala.
And not to be, not to be gender specific now, because I want to include actresses in there. Kate Blanchett would be an actress that I always
She's
go
good.
for.
I was just watching her.
How about
She
you?
was in the
Sam?
closet. She was in the Criterion closet last week.
Oh yeah, that's right. This past week.
For me, it depends on kind of mood and what I'm looking for. So like I love Bruce Campbell, but I'm not watching him for his amazing acting skills per se. I love his persona. I guess I love James Stewart. Like all his stuff is just great. He's not an actor I could watch new stuff of now, but I love all his movies.
Yep.
All right, then KB.
Denzel. It's got to be Denzel.
James, you got to pick?
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat. I can't name a single, but for me, my favorite actors have to be like Cary Grant, Jimmy Stewart, Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Pacino, and De Niro. Those are like my top 6. So it's hard to pick one out of those, but it'll be one of those 6.
Oh, great choices. Jimmy Stewart, that's like my favorite classic actor. And he's in so many classic movies. Like every time I feel like I'm watching a classic movie, like 1 out of 3 times it's a Jimmy Stewart in there.
He is so,
He
so good.
was the absolute best at playing the everyman, the kind of humble, regular person that we could connect to. He played that role perfectly.
He was perfect.
And then how about you, Bob?
Kevin Costner.
Ooh, nice.
Nice. Good pick.
All right, and then we got Amazing Anna in here. Hello,
Anna.
Amazing Anna.
Hello, Anna.
All right, let's see. Kenny says, my favorite actors is Jake Gyllenhaal. Nice.
He was so good in Nightcrawler. I love him in Nightcrawler.
Robbed, absolutely robbed.
So good.
Yeah, I don't think it was even nominated for that one, huh?
No.
Nope.
Good movie.
Mhm.
All right, we got Mika saying hi, Anna. Favorite actor Denzel Washington.
Denzel, there you go.
Anna says hi, Mika. All right, as everyone knows, I'm a minimalist, so I try to be selective with what I buy. I've gotten some good recommendations from others, and that's
It's a good
me
habit.
too. I try not to blind buy just randomly too much. I try to get some recommendations first. If I hear it's a title that's been recommended quite a few times, then I'll blind buy it. But rarely do I just go into the store and be like, "Oh, that looks kind of cool. Let me grab that one." Usually I got to do a little bit of research beforehand, just because I've been burnt before on blind buys, where I'm like, man, I should have done more research on that one.
Hmm.
All right. Let's see. Hisham and CT. Namaste, guys. I have a question for you. I don't know. We're gonna skip over that question. I don't know. Don't feel like I can answer that question. All right, Kenny says, Bob's Blu-rays. What is your letterbox? And anyone else have one? So I'm not on letterbox, but do you guys have letterboxes out there?
I do, but I don't ever update it. So
I'm with you, Tim. I heard Bob said he updates. I am really bad about updating mine. I'm so behind.
yeah,
I need to get caught up on updating mine.
I basically gave up.
I just like logging what
That's
I watch.
about where I'm at too, Tim.
Then I know
I'm
when I
about
want
to just throw the
it,
white
when I
flag
want-
and surrender.
Yeah.
So far behind.
Yeah. All the reviews I write on Facebook, I put in. So I'm on Letterboxd. It's 4K lowdown.
Cool.
Mine's Robert AAJR. I think that's what I'm under. I don't even know.
And mine's 20th and 21st, I think, on Letterboxd.
Yeah, mine is just say KB.
Yeah,
I'm
and it sounds
thinking-
like such a cool concept, and I've always been interested in it, but I'm like, between YouTube and then Instagram now, I'm like, I feel like I wouldn't have time to actually go into it like consistently. So I'm like, I don't even want to add it to the list. I'm like, but it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hisham says Star Wars or Star Trek. Star Wars for me. How about you all out there?
Trek.
Wars.
I don't watch it.
Neither.
Bob's like neither.
Yeah. For me, it's when I was a kid, big time Star Trek all the way. As I got older, I got more into Star Wars and I understood Star Wars. So I like them both. But if I had to choose one, it'd be Star Trek.
All right. Mika says favorite actress, hard to choose, but would be Viola Davis and Toni Collette. Both great choices.
Yeah.
Viola Davis was amazing in what was it, The Woman King, right? That just came out. Did any of you guys see
I haven't
that
seen
one?
that yet. I haven't seen it.
All the Denzel love. I don't know if you guys saw Fences. He's great in Fences. Viola Davis blew him out of the water, though.
Yeah.
She was at another level.
All right, let's see. What movie make you boring in theater? So, the last boring movie
That's a good
I'm
question.
not gonna say Tim's favorite movie. I won't say it. But anything from you guys out there?
Wow.
That's a good one, though.
I don't know.
Sherlock Holmes: Game of Shadows. I fell asleep in the theater. That's the first time I've ever done that.
Bodies was pretty freaking boring to me.
Yeah, you hated that one.
Thor: Love and Thunder. My son and I went to see it a couple of months ago, and like, oh man,
You didn't
is
like
it over
the
yet?
Screaming Goats?
Lego Movie Part 2.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that one. All right.
I was in a bad mood, so that didn't.
The funny thing about Tim is, I swear he's like my best friend on Instagram, and him and I basically have the complete opposite in taste when it comes to movies. Like, I don't know.
Opposites attract.
Yeah, no, like he liked bodies. I didn't. He hated Hellfest. I enjoy it.
I hated Barbarian. He liked it.
Yep, the list goes on. But that's okay, Tim. You're still my buddy.
All right. 4K King is in the house. Hello, 4K King.
Hello.
Yo, what's up, people? Thanks to all of you who got to my message from earlier in the day. And if I haven't sent you one, look for me in your inbox. I'll be watching from the shadows for now. Ooh, that sounds mysterious. That's like Batman. All right. Amazing Anna says, hello, everyone. By the way, I just got home. All right. Awesome. Cool. Laugh out loud. Craig says, do you like Dolby Vision, IMAX, or regular theaters? Actually, my favorite theater experience is a Screen X from Regal, where it does the 3 projectors and it's like 270 degrees immersion.
okay.
I love that. Like, it feels like you're in the movie. Like, I did that with Uncharted. And like when the jungle scenes came on, like you felt like you were actually going through the jungle. And then I did that for Top Gun Maverick. You felt like
that'd
you
be
were
nice.
in the jet, like because you had like the the sky around you. So that's my favorite screen. How about you guys? What screens do you like?
I got Dolby Vision and IMAX at my local, so I normally go to Dolby Vision, whatever is there. So as they rotate movies out, like right now, of course, Black Adam is in there for the last 2 weeks. Whenever they bring in something new, probably will be Wakanda Forever. That's when I'll go back to that. So yeah, Dolby. IMAX, the audio is too loud.
We have Dolby. I don't even think it's that special.
It's fun if you like that immersive sound.
It's okay. It's not like I heard 4DX, the seat spin or whatever.
Oh yeah, and the seats like beat you up in 4DX. Like
it's too much.
All right, 4K King says I'm a Letterbox addict. All right,
Good.
Hey, 4K King, hey there. Okay, awesome. We're caught up on the chat, so let's go back to. We're still in our first round here. Thank you all for sticking with us, and if you're just joining in, make sure you smash that like button, of course, and definitely leave lots of comments and questions out there. All right, so now we are on to KB Loves Movies. So KB, go ahead and take it away.
All right. I'm going to start off, since Dave already mentioned Kurosawa, I'm going to start off with my second favorite Kurosawa movie, which is High and Low.
Nice.
Love
that.
Basically, the story behind this is, it is in Japanese.
Yes.
A wealthy executive basically gets a threat that his son has been kidnapped. Turns out it's not his son, it's his limo driver. And then drama ensues from there. Samurai is a great classic Kurosawa. This is one that came out in 63, so about 10 years later. And I still give it because the man knows how to do drama. And this is high drama here. So that would be my first one. And Spine number Fanatics, it's number 24. If you know me, you know that I love Hitchcock, and Criterion, especially in the DVD days, has a pretty good selection of Hitchcock movies. This is one of my favorites. This is Rebecca.
Yes.
I could have chose this. I could have chose Notorious, but I went with this one. The transfer on this for the Blu-ray is amazing. It looks great. Great special features. And this is just a great classic movie. If you want to get into Hitchcock movies and, you got your typical Psycho and Vertigo and The Birds and all that, which, is the Universal and Paramount years, this is one from before then that's
and
really good to check out.
Winner.
Yeah, the only one that won Oscars. The man never won an Oscar. Go figure. Also, if you know me, I'm a Martin Scorsese fan. And he is a fan of these two directors called The Archers. And one of the movies that really got me into collecting Criterion is one that he recommended, and that's called The Red Shoes.
Oh, that 4K is amazing.
The 4K is stunningly beautiful. The colors are just popping. It's a musical, so if you are into that, it's a British film. And besides the picture, it looks good. The music is great. It's a great movie overall, and like we've been saying, the transfer is excellent.
So good. Scorsese loves that movie.
He loves them, period. He loves The Archers, period. I also have two of my favorite box sets here, because since it is 50%, you might want to spend a little bit more and get those box sets that you normally would just have in your wish list, but actually not go for. I'm not going to bring out like the Godzilla or Bergman or whatever, but I'm going for something in between. So first off, we have the Before trilogy, which is 3 Richard Linklater movies with 2 stars, Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, and they continue across the 3 movies. And if you like dramatic romantic movies with a lot of dialogue. This is a good movie for you, or good movies for you. But this set is excellent. The presentation of it, you have 3 separate discs, you have 3 separate casings, but Criterion does a great job on box sets. You know, we fall in love with other boutique labels, but I still go back to the original. They've been doing stuff like this for over 35 years, so they kind of know what they're doing. And something more recently, shout out to Brother Dell. I'm going to bring up his favorite, and that's the Bruce Lee box set. Basically, you get 5 Bruce Lee movies, the most famous 5, everything from The Big Boss to Game of Death, which they released after his death. So this is the Blu-ray set. It's excellent. Great transfers once again. If you have like old school love for Kung Fu movies, this is your jam. And it's nice to have it in all one set. And it really, really looks great. Great features too. Special features on here. A lot of them.
Yeah, their box sets are amazing.
They
This
are.
is- I don't know if you've seen this set. That thing is incredible. Like
That's a
just
good one
like
too.
the Before trilogy, the way it's set up.
Yeah.
I love their box sets.
Mhm.
And I knew Tim would pull Summertime and Night of the Hunter, so I didn't bring them out.
Yeah,
Am I predictable?
We share that love, my man. We share that love.
I'm really tempted by the Before trilogy, though. Like, that's been one that's been on my list forever.
It's so good.
But
It's
like,
so good.
you have to get it during the sale time, because
Yeah.
without that, it's outrageous. But
You don't want to pay full price for any box set.
No.
all right, let's see in the comments. Let's get caught up on here. All right, let's go to. Yep, we got 4K King here. I saw Spider-Man Homecoming in 4DX. Won't ever forget it. Oh, that's good. And I'm glad you had a cool movie theater experience. Spider-Man No Way Home. That was another one I did see on ScreenX as well. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hisham says, why you guys... Oh, we could be in hours on this question.
We don't want to go there.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother question. But I guess if I can make it short and to the point, just movies just make my day better. Like, anytime I can watch a movie, talk about movies with others, being a part of the movie community, just makes my day better.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Mika says KB Hilo is one of the films on our list, so we will be picking up next month. Ooh.
So good.
Tell me how you enjoy it, sis.
Yep.
All right, Hisham says, which MCU movies and series? We're in Criterion right now. Yeah, we are not on the MCU.
Taking us on tangents. We don't want to do that.
All right, let's see. Fish the Film Collector says, hey kids, I've only seen Before Sunrise. Okay.
Get the set and watch all 3 back to back. It's a beautiful afternoon.
All right, and do they flow together like really well? Like, how far are they apart in terms of like a timeline?
We're talking 95, 2004, 2013. And that's the time that the movies skip as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's beautiful.
Let's see. Craig says, do you like one brand of 4K Blu-ray players over another? Not for me. I think I have a Samsung, but I don't know how much differences there are between them.
Yeah.
I have Panasonic, but yeah.
I have Sony, but I don't know the differences either.
LG. Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and continue on here. So we'll have our Criterion expert here. James, take it away.
Okay.
Always got to hype you up a little bit.
Oh my goodness. Well, got a few recommendations here, and these are some titles that go back to when I started collecting Criterion back in, I think, around 2013. Some of the earliest titles I picked up from Criterion, and I think this might be the very first title that I got, first Criterion that I got, and I bought it at Costco. Because like several years ago, Costco used to sell Criterions for like $19.99, probably about, I guess, 10 years ago. And this title, I saw this and I saw John Travolta just sort of slump back in this chair and all this audio equipment around the room. And I thought, wow, I have no idea what this movie's about at all, but it looks interesting in this blowout.
Incredible.
And this is the new 4K release of it. I had it on Blu-ray from Costco from probably 2013, and this might be my very first Criterion edition. And this is before I even knew what Criterion was or had any idea about the Criterion label. But I absolutely love this film to this day. If you were to ask me, if your house is burning down and you can only save one Criterion edition, single edition Criterion, it would probably be Blowout, the Brian De Palma film from 1981, starring John Travolta, Nancy Allen, and John Lithgow. This film is so amazing. John Travolta is great in this. He's basically a young man who is he's like a sound man for movies, and he works for this like low grade B movie studio. And they're making a movie, and the director tells him to go out and get some new sound effects. He's tired of hearing the same old sound effects, and so he goes out and he inadvertently records the sound of a political assassination. And so there's the political assassination elements going on. Of course, Nancy Allen was involved in that innocently. They develop a relationship, and so John Lithgow is the bad guy in this. It is just such a great, intriguing film. It looks great on 4K. And I just love this movie. It's probably one of the best additions in Criterion to this day, and one of my favorites, Blowout. So love this film. What's
also
that?
Good to match it. Blow Up.
Blow Up inspired this film. Yep. And
So-
Blow Up is excellent too. That is so good. Yeah, so this film is from 1981. Blow Up is from 66, and it's a similar story. In that film, I think it's David Hemmings. He plays a photographer who captures like pictures of a murder in a park. And so they sort of get inspiration of that story for Blowout with Travolta, and Travolta's great in that. Love that
so
film.
James, you'd say it's worth the upgrade then for 4K? Like it's a big difference?
What I said, I did a review of this, and what I said in that review was it is a noticeable upgrade. I would say it's worth the upgrade if you fall in the category of me who loves this film. If you really love this movie, absolutely do the upgrade. If you don't already own Blowout, get the 4K Ultra HD. So it really just comes down to how much you love this movie. If you love the movie, definitely worth an upgrade. If you're kind of so-so about the film and you already have it on Blu-ray, just stick with your Blu-ray copy. But this 4K looks fantastic.
I think one of Criterion's problems with their 4Ks, and it's not even a problem, but their Blu-rays are so good that the 4K doesn't feel like as much of a jump because it's a stellar disc to another stellar disc. So
yeah, especially when they have a 4K transfer for the Blu-ray, you don't really see much of a difference.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did notice a little bit of a difference. I was expecting a little bit more, but it is a difference. And for me, because of how much I love this movie, it was worth the upgrade. And then another title from Criterion that I would love to see get a 4K, but is one of my favorite additions from Criterion is this one here, Medium Cool. So I tried to pick titles that people probably aren't thinking about, that are probably not on people's radar, titles that came out several years ago. This is an amazing film that is from Haskell Wexler, and it's a great historical sort of document, so to speak, because it's from 1969, and it basically is set in 1968, which in Chicago. And of course, for people who know about the year 1960, I wasn't around in 68, but 1968 was a very tumultuous year in US history. America was basically on fire. I mean, you had the civil rights movement, in full swing. You had a U.S. election going on. You had, assassinations of some prominent figures such as Martin Luther King and Robert F. Kennedy, and a few years earlier than that, JFK. So a lot of things sort of going on, at this time, and you see the sort of the undercurrents of all of that in this movie. And Robert Forster's in this film, is in Chicago during the 1968 Democratic National Convention. And you've got Verna Bloom in here and her son. Their lives intersect with Robert Forster, who is a TV newsman. And it's just a very fascinating story set in 1968. Haskell Wexler was a cinematographer. He directed this film, and I just love the mood and the vibe and the atmosphere and the music of this movie. It just really puts you in that place, and I just dig this. I dig this movie. It's cool. It's medium cool. It's fantastic, and I just love it. You know, Robert Forster, the late great Robert Forster, is fantastic in this movie. And this is one that looks great on Blu-ray, and I would love to see this get a Criterion 4K upgrade.
I just added that to my list. You sold me.
Yeah, medium cool
It's
is
great.
so good. I mean, that house fire thing, I would grab these two first. They are so good. The next one would be, of course, the recently passed James Caan, Sonny from The Godfather. He also played in this really nice role a few years later,
Excellent.
1981 Thief.
Thief is
This movie
excellent.
looks so good. I think this movie inspired Ryan. What's his name? Ryan Gosling in Drive.
Drive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Drive. That film was inspired in part by this movie here. Is set in Chicago. James Caan is a robber. He's a thief, so to speak, and he's trying to get out of the game. But there are forces who are trying to pull him back in for one last job, and it's just one nice movie. It looks incredible on this Blu-ray. It looks fantastic. This is another film that I would love to see get a 4K upgrade. But it has a great soundtrack from Tangerine Dream, and Michael Mann directed this film. It is just a fantastic film. This is actually what I'm showing you here is the dual format edition. Criterion, about 5 years ago, they stopped doing dual formats where they would, it was, I think, about a year that they were releasing Blu-ray editions that included a DVD as well. But for some reason, they decided to discontinue that format. But this is the dual format edition. Currently, it's available only as a Blu-ray edition or perhaps a DVD as well. But this is the 1981 film from Michael Mann starring James Caan. Fantastic edition.
Without
Love
Thief, we probably don't have Heat. Thief is the stepping stone to Heat.
Yeah, Michael Mann. Yep. So that's a great one. I love those. And then, of course, this is a film that I am so guilty of something I don't usually do, and that's double dipping and triple dipping. Well, I triple dipped on this one. Parasite won Best Picture, recently, a couple of years ago, and I got the bare bones Blu-ray release of it when it won the Oscar, and saw it for the first time and loved it. Then they came out with this nice 4K. And I was like, oh, I got to get it on 4K. And I love it on 4K. And then Criterion announced that they were, putting out an edition. And so I got the Criterion edition on Blu-ray. And so this is a great edition. You get, of course, a lot of supplements. And one of the cool things about this edition of Parasite on Criterion is you get the black and white version of the film. So it is a really nice release. Got those additional supplements that Criterion has added. The original Blu-ray edition was bare bones. It just had the movie. But this includes some nice supplements, including that black and white edition. So love Parasite. And then the last one that I'll bring up as far as single edition releases is one of the great classics of all time that was one of the early 4K releases, Citizen Kane. I absolutely love this edition. First of all, I love this movie from 1941 from Orson Welles. And what I love about this edition from Criterion is they put so much in the way of special features on this edition. Now, the only thing about this edition that people will want to know about is it doesn't bother me, but I know a lot of people are not in love with the packaging of this release, because of this Digipack release.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me, but a lot of people are not in love with the way it's packaged. But I think people should just put that aside and just realize when you look at the back of this and you see all of the supplements on this edition, on these discs, it tells you so much about Orson Welles, the director, the incredible story behind making this movie. considered one of the greatest films of all time, and he was all of like 23 years old making this movie. And oh, by the way, it was his first feature film. Coming from the theater, Mercury Theater, and bringing some of the characters from his Mercury Theater days into making this film, and working with the cinematographer and how they did those optical effects that they did. And they didn't originate a lot of those techniques, but they brought techniques that had been done before together in unique and original ways. And you learn a lot about that in the supplements on here. It's a very complete edition of Citizen Kane. So I really love this. It is fantastic. It's nice and thick. And, what I was talking about with the packaging is that it kind of folds out and everything, and people don't like it.
I just had mine opened up. I was going to show it.
Yeah. There you go.
I love that it spells out Kane. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and this one, there was apparently an issue. I got this when it first came out, and apparently there was an issue with like the Blu-ray disc, and they had a disc replacement program. I never took advantage of it. I should have for that $10 certificate, but I never took advantage of it. And the reason I got this was for the 4K. I already have a Blu-ray edition of this, so I didn't really care about the Blu-ray. I saw, of course, it has the special features on one of the Blu-rays, but the 4K looks great, and I love it, and it's got a ton of special features. It is a complete edition for Citizen Kane, so I absolutely love that. And I guess the last thing I'll show is, if you're interested in any box sets, World of Wong Kar-wai is just wonderful. Just love this.
Movies with Ryan, very happy.
Yeah, he got a killer deal. Movies with Ryan got a killer deal on this. He got it for like what, $20 or something?
$20,
like that?
Crazy.
Yeah, amazing. And this is a great set. I mean, there's some controversy on the color. I think the color timing that Wong Kar-wai chose for these films, but I had no problem with it. They looked fine to me, and I tend to respect the choice of the director. I mean, he made the movie, he ought to know how he wants it to look. So I like that. The complete films of Agnès Varda. She's a French director, and this is an amazing edition. She recently passed away, and this is the complete edition of her films, and just a fantastic set. If you want to really dive deep into a particular filmmaker that maybe you've never heard of before and don't know much about, you will definitely learn a lot about this amazing filmmaker, Agnès Varda. She was extraordinary French director. She was a director during the French New Wave, and she was fantastic. And probably one of my favorite box sets in the entire collection is from this man here, Mr. Fellini. Just absolutely love the films in this set. So just a couple of box set recommendations there for people, but those are just some of the things I would recommend for the sale. A lot of good opportunities to pick up some great titles, and just be selective and just pick out a few and dive deep into those.
A few.
I had a question on that Citizen Kane one. If people buy it now, does it come with the replacement disc already, or do they still have to go through that?
I think it would probably indicate on the back second pressing or something like that.
It all depends.
So you'll be able to read on the back that it's a second pressing.
Yeah. Depends on what disc is in there. I mean, it's like Screen Factory, Arrow, anything like that. If you're ordering it after they've repressed it and put the new discs are not in there, so you got to figure that out for yourself. It's unfortunate, but
if you think about it like this, if you're getting it from Barnes and Noble, sometimes their stuff sits in the back of house from sale to sale, so they might have stuff from day one. Yeah. You could always tell the date that they got it, because if you look on the price sticker, it tells you the date that they put it on there. If you get it from Criterion, let's say during a flash sale or something, it's the new pressing. So that's how I would judge. Is it
you forget something that's 5 years old and the replacement discs were issued 5 years ago, and you might still end up getting a copy that was from the original.
Somebody just got Escape from LA and it still had the original one, because they didn't change the color from the white to the yellow banner.
If you order from Best Buy, Amazon, it might sit in their warehouse for 5 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wonder that because that's the only reason I didn't get Citizen Kane because of all that issue. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
wait on it. a
Really
little
not a
bit.
big deal, man. It really
And the
isn't.
funny thing about it is, I watched that Blu-ray, and I've watched it like 2 or 3 times trying to figure out, okay, I still don't I still couldn't see where the issue was, and I don't know if it's maybe my Blu-ray is an okay copy, or I honestly could not tell what they were
Honestly
talking about.
speaking, I've never ordered a replacement disc. It's not that serious for me. I mean,
Yeah.
90% of the time, unless it's something huge, it's not worth it. I just don't care enough to go through that. I mean,
Yeah.
emails and whatever else. I unless somebody told me, I guarantee you, unless it's outrageous, I probably wouldn't even realize. And when
Yeah.
it comes to problems, the ones I always notice is when the audio is off. Otherwise, I really
Okay.
don't
Yeah.
notice. Like if the lips are
Yeah.
moving and the voice doesn't match, then I
Right.
have a
Not
problem.
synced up.
Or
Yeah.
if it replaces a scene or doubles a scene or something like that. Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
when everyone was going all crazy with the 12 Monkeys 4K from Arrow.
I didn't see it.
And so it's actually the same exact it's just the 4K transfer from the Blu-ray. And I watched the Blu-ray when it came out, and I didn't even notice it. So I didn't even bother. I don't care with the 4K to go through the whole process. I didn't even notice it. Whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, no, I care more about dented steel books than I do a mistake or some grease in a 4K cover or whatever. I don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yep.
I'm good. I'm not going to notice a 3-second mistake on a 4K.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look back at these comments here. Let's see. Let's see where we at. I think we're right here. No, we saw that one. There we go. Here. Did anyone pick up some of those great October releases from Criterion? Were some good ones Lost Highway, Eve's Bayou? James, you got a couple of those?
Lost Highway is excellent. I saw it for the first time, and it is fantastic. It looks great on that 4K, and it's a really, really nice film from David Lynch. I haven't got Eve's Bayou yet, but I'm waiting on the sale for that. But I did pick up Lost Highway. It's really good.
And Arsenic and Old Lace.
That's what
And
picked that
Arsenic
up
and
too.
Old Lace. I got that one from the flash sale.
It's a fantastic movie, and it looks great. That is really bare bones though for
bare
Criterion.
bones.
Arsenic and Old Lace, yeah.
I was like, what the heck is this? There's almost nothing on it. It's the radio play, and that's it. That's the whole.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was blown away with when I read in the Arsenic and Old Lace, because this is from 1944, and so I read like on the video. I noticed how good the video looked, and I read in the insert that it was a 4K scan from the original camera negative, which kind of surprised me because from a film that old, you wouldn't expect the OCN to be available, but they were able to use the original camera negative, and it sort of you can see how good it looks. It's like, oh yeah,
It was nitrate too, a nitrate negative.
Transfer and sound, it's a 10 out of 10.
It looks fantastic, but it could have used some more special features. But that audio commentary on there is really good. But some more features would have been nice.
That's why I waited.
Yeah,
it's such a funny movie though. It's a blast.
All right, Hisham says, how many DVD and Blu-rays in your collection? I guess 4Ks, everything like that.
Not enough.
Yeah, never enough. I know you guys
That's my
probably
answer.
have way bigger collections than me. I think I'm probably about 1,000 titles, but you guys want to shout out how many titles you think you have in your collection?
I'm about that same.
I'm about that same as well.
Yeah,
about the same.
Go ahead.
Break out the spreadsheet.
4K lowdown. How many you got over there?
I'm coming up on 7,000.
Oh,
I guess I'm not.
Oh wow.
Too behind. I think I'm ballpark like 55, somewhere around there.
That's great.
Bob, how about you? You got a number?
Like over 3,000.
All right. AA, good evening. Tarantino said Travolta performance and Blowout won him Pulp Fiction role. I had no idea.
Oh yeah. That makes sense to me.
Can't wait.
All right. I own Tree of Life Criterion, but still haven't seen it. Ebert said Tree of Life is best of decade.
It's beautiful. It's
Nice.
so beautiful. Can't say
I
much for his movies, but that one got me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, when is November sale? I'm guessing it's starting right when it hits November, right? Is that normally when it starts?
Yep.
So
Yep.
right at midnight. So we're almost there. We
Yeah.
are almost there, about a day away.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sometime in early November.
All right, we got mid-level
Mr.
in the
Ken.
house.
Hey,
Yes.
Ken.
Ken and Ken and Levels.
What's up, y'all? What's up? All right, Mika. Hey, Ken. Hey. Let's see. Medium cool sounds great. Yeah, I never heard
It
of that
is
title
fantastic.
before. So
It's so good. It's so good. I can't say enough good things about it.
yeah, James, you were
It
pulling
was actually
titles
my
I never
first.
heard about. So I'm
It
glad
was
you
my
pulled those.
first. It was my first review on this channel, Medium Cool,
Oh, that's
on
awesome.
my channel.
Yeah, I'm glad you were pulling titles. I'm like, I've never heard of those, but they sound like really interesting. So you put them on my radar for sure. Let's see. Fish the Film Collector. I love to watch that. There you go. Perfect. I love Bobby.
Yep.
Thief is my favorite Michael Mann. Same vein as Carlito's. Okay, so that gets me really interested in that movie because I've never seen that movie either. So,
Yeah.
but I've seen
Thief is
Carlito's
awesome.
Way.
That'd be a good double feature between Thief and
Mm-hmm.
Drive. I never
Mm-hmm.
made the connection, but yeah, I could see that being a nice double feature.
The character in Thief is so badass too.
Yeah.
He doesn't take
James
any
Caan.
shit. He's cool.
Oh yeah.
James Thief will be another one Kira and I have on the list for next month. There you
Nice.
go.
Awesome.
I might have to put it
Yeah.
on my list too.
Yeah, and Mika and Kira, I'm still working through y'all's list of horror titles you gave me a month ago. I'm still working through that list.
Yeah, and I don't think Criterion does much of horror, right? Because all the other boutique labels like have a big focus on horror, right?
They have horror.
Not a
but
lot.
It's
Not
more
a
so.
lot. They do have
classic
some,
and
though.
foreign.
They have one of the best international horror films in house. So that movie's crazy.
And of course, Night of the Living Dead, Carnival of Souls.
Yep.
All right. Does anybody like a good 4K Dolby Atmos soundtrack for movie? Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't have
you?
like a Dolby Atmos like setup, like a home setup. Do any of you guys have a true like Dolby Atmos setup by chance?
I do not.
4K lowdown. Is it amazing?
It's amazing.
That's cool.
I want to do that one day. Just like get the whole like makeover home theater system. Get the Dolby Atmos set up.
One day.
All right, mid level says I still need to get that Criterion.
Which
Mika
one?
says I have that Criterion edition for Parasite. I just watched the black and white edition. Yeah, I've been interested in getting that one, but I feel like that's one that they may put to 4K, and I'm always kind of worried now with Criterion. Like, are they going to release a 4K of that one soon?
Mhm.
So
I don't know though, because the 4K came out from the studio so much like right before it. I
Yeah.
feel like the studio retained the 4K rights and they only sold off the Blu-ray rights. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And the great thing
Yeah,
about
that's
that
probably true.
that Blu-ray is that's another one like what Tim was saying before, where there's little difference between the 4K and the Blu-ray because
It looks so
the
good.
Blu-ray is a 4K transfer.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't go
Yeah.
wrong. And with
Yeah.
the popularity of the movie now and Bong Joon-ho's popularity, they're not going to license that out from the studio anytime soon.
Yeah.
and
It's a
so
great
James,
edition.
would you recommend then going with the Criterion edition because you get like the other edition of the movie and things like that? Would you go with that over the 4K if you were to
Oh,
choose?
I personally, yeah,
I would.
definitely.
If you
I
had to
would.
get one, I would get the Criterion. And I mean the 4K, obviously is 4K, but this again, as they're saying, is so close. And by the time you upscale it on your 4K TV and 4K Blu-ray player, it's going to be so close, and you're sitting 6 or 8 feet from the TV, so you
Can't
can't
tell the
really tell
difference.
much of a difference.
All right, Fish the Film Collector, Too Busy. Macarena? Is that a dance?
Hey, Macarena.
Oh, there you go. I'm like, I
Alright.
thought that was a dance. Are we dancing?
Oh, okay.
All right, mid-level says I've been trying to tell everyone it's not that bad. Oh, is that about the Citizen Kane?
The
Yeah.
disc
No,
problem.
replacement
The
disc.
replacement.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
disc.
Wipe that grease
mid-level.
off and move on.
Yep.
Love
All
it.
right, these people freeze framing every disc as they go through it. Could you imagine that?
Oh,
All right, Anna says I have. What do you mean? We have
I have
Criterion
none.
titles. What are you talking about?
Or
I have them right here. What do you mean we don't have any?
She has none personally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. She
Oh.
hasn't. She's not really into the classic movies, but
Oh, okay.
I don't know. There might be some movies in there I could show her.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, mid-level says 5,500. Wait, what?
And
And
That
one.
says how many in his
You're
collection.
talking about Tim.
And one.
Oh, I was like, wait. Okay, that makes more sense. Oh.
Okay.
All right, there you go. All right, sale starts November 4th. Okay, so
Yeah, that's my guess. This
gives us
Friday.
a few days. All right.
That's my guess.
bye paycheck.
Yeah, right.
What movie? Yeah, Hisham always has the interesting question. What movie makes you confused? I don't know. I cannot think of a Criterion title that does. Oh, maybe The Game. The Game is a Criterion title that's kind of trippy and stuff. Gets you thinking.
I like
Yeah,
that.
it all
I
comes
would say
together. You know.
Mulholland Drive. You know, I had
That's
yes.
the answer.
I
Mulholland
there you
Drive.
go.
don't get that movie. I watched it
That's one of
twice,
those
and I'm like,
movies.
what is this?
Yeah, it's one of those movies that after you watch it, you want to go on YouTube and like, okay, Mulholland Drive explained. Just watch a few videos.
I
someone
just
explaining it.
watch it for Naomi Watts.
Oh, there you go.
KB, you know.
All right, no problem. Let's see. Do you guys have John Carpenter Criterion? Is there John Carpenter titles in the Criterion? I don't
No.
think so,
No.
right?
Not that I know of.
Usually,
no.
that's Scream Factory, I think.
I'm looking right now. I don't see any.
That'd be awesome. I would totally get all of them from Criterion.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Halloween. And
Heck yeah.
That would be awesome. Could you imagine?
Studio Canal has a
I feel like the one that would fit the best is The Thing. I feel like The Thing could
Yeah.
actually be
The Thing would work.
Criterion.
sure. Mm-hmm.
All right, Gus.
Hey,
says
Gus.
hello,
Gus.
everyone.
How's it?
Gus.
Howdy doody.
Gus. All right, amazing, Anna. Hey, Bob. Why so serious? Well, it's later over
Why
there where
so
Bob is,
serious?
so might be tired.
I'm not serious.
This is
He's
his
thinking over his
non-hosting
choices.
pose.
Yeah, amazing. Anna always says that to me when I'm on anybody's stream. She's like, "You're too serious. You're too serious." I'm like, "Okay, I'll try to throw in some jokes once in a while." All right. All right. Mid-level says David Lynch makes you think too much. That's the Mulholland Drive, right?
Very
Yeah.
true.
Correct. Mhm.
Yeah, very true.
Yes to Mulholland Drive. Have to watch it a couple times and then get Cliff Notes. You get some homework with that movie.
Yeah. And that's the thing about David Lynch's films. And I actually enjoy most of his films in the collection. He has a lot of his films in the collection. And one of the things about all his editions, they're all digipacks, and he's very particular about not allowing a lot of supplements on his releases. He doesn't do commentaries, and he doesn't allow like chapter stops. So when you put the disc in, it doesn't break it up into chapter stops like most movies. So he's pretty particular about that. But I've enjoyed most of the editions that I've seen so far. I mean, there's some great ones out there. Lost Highway is really good. The Elephant Man is probably one of his best films, most approachable films, with a great acting, cast. Mulholland Drive is great. Blue Velvet. So he's got some good stuff.
We need to make Bob smile.
Naomi Watts.
There you go, Naomi Watts.
There
There
it
she is. He's lit up.
Goes
All
to
right,
Mars Criterion.
There you go. Hey, I still need to see that movie, so I would totally be down.
That's a good one.
It's bad, but it's purposely bad. Like he kind of made it like a purposeful B movie.
Talking about purposely bad showgirls.
Showgirls.
Umbrella put out Showgirls.
I haven't seen that one either. That's not a good one either.
Not really.
Showgirls? Oh, it's
Um,
notoriously bad though for people.
Yep.
Uniform.
Bob looks like he's in uniform.
He just came from
Bob.
the Tennessee sideline.
Bob, did the Titans win today?
Yeah, they won. They've won 5 in a row.
You would think they didn't, by the way. He's sitting there.
Yeah, the Falcons, they tried their best to give away their game today.
For real.
All right, so let's go to Bob then. Bob, take it away.
All right.
Smile.
So 5 choices. As I was telling him, I don't have a lot because most of my stuff, like what you see behind me, is pretty much all I got. Hoping to move soon, so everything I've got like 2,000 movies boxed up. So I'm garbage right now for this, but I'm gonna go with On the Waterfront. On the Waterfront. I watched this in film class like 15 years ago. I haven't seen it since, but I remember enjoying it. I think it's a really good release. So
That's a
that's
great
one.
choice. Excellent choice.
Not my favorite movie. I think it's decent, but once again, I just wanted to pull stuff I actually own and stuff I've seen. So Marriage Story, and I think this is probably one, like the notes in here, the little journal notes, and I just think it's incredible. It's authentic. It looks super real. It's accurate to the film as well. So that looks good. I like this release as well. It's a fun movie. It's nostalgic to me.
Nice.
I know, shout out to Little Fish, the film collector. He's a big fan of this one. It's a good release. Silence of the Lambs, a classic. Have to play.
Yes.
I've only seen it once, and I watched it for the first time a couple of years ago, but it's incredible. It's
Great movie, great release.
Great movie.
on the top 25 last night. And then this box set of Night of the Living Dead, the FYE exclusive. I've only seen this once as well, and it was a long time ago. But it's great. It's an important film, especially George Romero zombie film, and I think this release is incredible. And
that's a Criterion one. I never actually even seen that.
Yeah, FYE exclusive. It's got the back of it. There you go. But yeah, this is Criterion.
No shit.
No, wait a minute.
It's not, but it's a Criterion.
That's not the Criterion
title.
edition.
No,
I
it had
think,
it.
but it's
No, that the Criterion Blu-ray is in it. If you look at the back
Yeah.
again,
It is right here. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in there.
oh,
So-
okay. Oh, wow, look at
That's-
that. Okay.
I never
Yeah,
seen
it's a
that.
Criterion collection. I mean,
That's cool.
it's a Criterion release. It's just it's an FYE exclusive. You ever see like Arrow do stuff and then Diabolic ends up being the exclusive seller for it? So that's kind of how
okay.
that is. They just get, it's just a box set versus something, something special to release somewhere else.
That's cool.
yeah,
All right, awesome.
I didn't see that.
That's
So that's
awesome
cool.
stuff.
I'll take it if you want to, sell it to me.
I haven't even opened it yet, but I got it recently. Actually, when I got that, the very next day they announced the 4K.
Yeah,
But I didn't care. I was gonna buy. I wanted it anyways.
Yep. That's cool.
All right, I guess I'll go into my titles before we move on to the next round here. So with my titles, I wanted to go with more maybe people that aren't really into classic movies and they need kind of an entry point into Criterion. So I wanted to go with more kind of easy watching titles, or titles that I think that Criterion really shines in with either like artwork or design. So I picked Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Of course, an amazing 80s movie, great raunchy comedy, very funny, very easy watching movie, great cast in here. So if you like comedies, especially raunchy comedies, to me, Fast Times has to be one of the best out there. So I love
The
Fast
soundtrack.
Times.
And the soundtrack is a banger for that. So good.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
so good. Very rewatchable too, and you get a ton of great special features too on this one. Like the one that stood out to me, I think was it Olivia Wilde talking in it, and how like this movie kind of inspired, I guess, Booksmart, something like that.
Yeah.
That was a really good special feature. So Fast Times, how to pull that one. So if you're not really into classic titles, but you're at least into comedies, that may be a good one to kind of check out, especially if you like the 80s. Another comedy I wanted to go with, but it's more of a classic comedy here, is going to be Bringing Up Baby. I
Yes.
just love the
Good one.
design of this one
Nice
too,
one.
right? Like it's a really cool design, but very funny movie. And even though it's a very classic black and white film, I think the comedy holds up really well because I saw it for the first time and was still laughing throughout it. And it's a pretty short movie too. I think it's about an hour and a half or so it doesn't overstay its welcome. So if you want to get more classic titles, more black and white films, I think it's good to start with a comedy. See if you like that.
Katharine Hepburn can play a quirky character very well.
Oh yeah, she's great. The next one, another classic title, but this one's a 4K actually, is going to be a Double Indemnity. I'm a really big fan of like thrillers.
Mike. You're killing it here. These are great
That's
ones.
excellent.
Doing
Yeah.
a good job.
Yeah, I'm a really big fan of a thriller suspense movie. So this is another one that's very classic, black and white film. But once again, it's easy watching because you're always intrigued by the story. You want to know how it
Yeah.
plays out. Kind of reminds me of a Hitchcock type of title as well, just with the suspense of it all. So I really like this one. This one's really cool. And I think the 4K looks great. 4K looks really good with black and white. And so this is outstanding with this one. Really nice.
Yeah, that's so good.
And then another one that I think Criterion did an amazing job with, that's also pretty easily rewatchable too, is going to be Shaft, the 4K of this one. Now, what I love about this one is that you actually, when you open it up, and I had no idea when I bought this one, you actually get 3 discs in here. So you actually get 3 discs, and you actually get the sequel, Shaft's Big Score, on a Blu-ray. And so you're getting 2 movies for the price of 1, which I was super surprised by because I didn't know it was going to come with the sequel. And I think those are very fun movies, kind of like James Bond a little bit, right? Like a lot of like, I don't know how you'd say, but he's just really cool, the main character in it. So I think that's pretty easily watching. It's, action detective kind of story. So really fun movies. And like I said, you get 2 movies for the price of 1, and the 4K looks great on it. So can't go wrong with Shaft. And the song is so catchy. I love the Shaft song.
Yes. Isaac Hayes song.
You know what's funny about Shaft, like Kino Lorber and Criterion are notorious for putting extra discs in there, sometimes without even telling anyone. Tony and I were the kind of people, though, we like having individual releases because we get crap for buying like Call Me Mr. Tibbs. We bought those individual releases, both of us, because we just wanted, it's a slipcover and we wanted the individual releases. But a lot of people will give you crap for that. Because you're like, why are you paying for something that's already in this disc? But completionists and collectors, we like to have different editions, things like that.
Yep.
It's your money, not theirs.
Yeah, I know. Because I got the Warner Archive Collection release of Shaft's Big Store and Shaft in Africa.
Yeah.
And real quick, while we got on this screen, by the way, Mike, since you pulled Double Indemnity, this is my personal recommendation to you. I think you would dig Detour.
Oh yeah!
Oh, awesome!
It's super. This thing's 69 minutes too. It's super
short.
Oh
yes. So I'm all for short movies.
Yeah, high recommendation on that.
The one title I would have pulled if I actually owned it, like if I didn't have it boxed up, would have been Bull Durham. That is my favorite Criterion release. It's my favorite Criterion movie, I should say. And it was my introduction into Tim Robbins. I didn't know who he was until I saw that movie.
Oh man, Tim Robbins he's so good. He could do comedy and heart-crushing drama so freaking well. I love him. I feel like I'm just pulling other stuff, but Tim Robbins is amazing.
The Player, I was going to say that. Tim
Robbins.
I got to grab that and Smooth Talk.
Yeah, Player's
that
great.
Double Indemnity is so good. I mean, Billy Wilder, he was an amazing director, but what made him so great was he was just an excellent writer, and his dialogue is, I mean, second to none. I mean, whether it's in Double Indemnity or The Apartment or whatever. I mean, Sunset Boulevard, but Double Indemnity is probably one of the best written in terms of dialogue films I've ever seen. It is almost perfect.
Perfect cadence
between Fred McMurray and Barbara Stanwyck and Edward G. Robinson. I mean, perfection. Beautiful.
All right, and then my final title to recommend, my favorite Criterion title of all time. Any guesses out there?
Raging Bull.
No, but I have that near me. Menace to Society.
Oh, even better.
I love how Criterion just did this packaging, and I want them to do more of this. Like, this is such a cool packaging that, to me, that's what makes Criterion really stand out, and I want them to do more of that style. Like, give us something different like that. So I really just love the artwork here. It looks really, really cool. I mean, just when you open it up, it's awesome. Like, everything is great about this one.
Nice.
That's a hard-hitting movie, too.
Oh, yeah. Very intense movie. Like, by the end of it, because it was my first time watch, I was just like jaw dropped. Like, oh my goodness.
Same. Wow. When it freeze frames at the end, my jaw was like on the floor. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's such an intense story, but it's a great movie. You got social commentary in there, but it's done so well. And it's just a really well-made film, like with all the lighting and camera work, and like even when like you'll see the camera go around. I mean, it just is amazing, like really, really good. So that's another good entry point into a Criterion, I would say, if you're into but just know it's kind of a tough watch too. Like there's moments in there where you're just going to be like, oh my goodness,
it's pretty rough.
I love Menace to Society. I honestly prefer. I love Boys in the Hood as well, but I honestly prefer Menace to Society over Boys in the Hood, and I love them both. But Menace to Society is just a all-time for me, all-timer.
Yeah, when the grandfather asks him, "Do you care whether you live or die?" I mean,
I don't know.
When he kicks him out of the house, oh my god.
But so good.
And that's got
4K, and this 4K looks amazing. I mean, they did a great job.
When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Lorenz Tate. So
we got a porn box in here. So you're doing something right, Mike.
Oh, there we go. I've
made it.
Guys. I've made it. Yeah. I'll take that as a badge of honor. Let's I guess we'll block them. Does that work? Okay. Yeah. There we go.
All
right. Let's see. Let's go to the comments here. Let's see. Let me see where we are at. Okay, I think we're here. Bob, I hope you checked out The Watcher. Naomi's great in it.
I know she recommended that. Honestly, October has just been swamped. I have not caught up on any shows yet. I want to get around to it. I'll have to at least watch the pilot.
Yeah, like shows for me, it's so tough to keep up with shows with just like all the movies I watch.
I've got that question earlier. I've probably got over 500 movies in my collection I haven't seen, so it's I'm trying to get around to those.
So what else do you guys collect? I collect Funko Pops. I know Tim, you collect quite a few things as well, posters and whatnot.
Posters, statues,
Titty
vinyl.
statues in particular.
Well, yeah, titty statues especially, but besides titty statues, I got Vito and the Mummy, and my titty statue is right here.
That's the must.
Oh yeah,
that's the favorite one.
There's my titty statue.
All right. Anybody else collect anything they want to shout out? No, just movies for everyone. Really. All right. Mid-level, what you trying to pull, Bob? I know. I don't know. Are you up to no good?
What you trying to pull, Bob?
What's going on?
You're gonna get to it, but Ken has the winning comment down the bottom. I collect spores, molds, and fungus. Winning comment. Love that.
All right. Let's see. Mika says, are the specific films that you want to ensure you get from Criterion? Oh, yes. We're going to talk about in the next round. We'll absolutely get to that. Go Gus. Some great titles we grabbed not too long ago that I would recommend would be Clute, Chronos, Devil's Backroom, and Eyes Without a Face, and Okja. I still need to see Chronos and Devil's Backbone. I've always been interested in those.
I do want to see Okja, Mika.
Okja's good.
If that Del
and that
Toro
4K
triple pack is together still, if it's still available, that's a great pickup with those three movies.
Yeah, the trilogy.
I'm a big Steven Yeun or Steven Yeun, however you pronounce his last name. Big fan of him.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. That Shaft is beautiful.
Love Shaft.
It's good. So good.
Mika, Clute is great. I need to get Eyes Without a Face now. I haven't seen those.
Too. I've not seen Eyes Without a Face, but Clute is fantastic.
I've seen Clute's it. Great. I just don't have it yet.
It's a good one, Trini. Thanks for showing your Shaft. No problem. And it's in ultra high definition, so you can enjoy it all night long. All right. Mid-level says nothing to lose, needs a Criterion.
Yes.
Shut your mouth, Side Hustle. And then we're going to turn this into a whole different kind of stream here. All right.
What is that saying? That's like the pot calling the kettle black?
That's the phrase.
All right. Really, Ken? All right. Yes, 2 Minutes to Society. Yep. Yeah. Like when I think of Criterion and like the best of Criterion, it has everything. Like it has the artwork, unique design, really good 4K. It's a really good movie. Great special features too, like tons of special features. So like everything that Criterion is about, I feel Menace to Society has it. That's why I picked that as my favorite.
Good pick.
100%.
All right, I collect spores.
Love
Yeah, molds and fungus. Yep. I'm picking the new 4K November titles and probably 2 to 3 past titles. I picked up most items during the flash sale. Oh, nice. See, I totally missed
Nice,
out
Gus.
on the flash sale.
Me too. I had a cart worth of stuff, and
I didn't
I
see
just
the
pulled it
point. I mean, it's
too
the
late.
same sale that November will run.
Mm-hmm.
The only benefit is if you were to buy it on the flash sale, you get it directly from Criterion and you build up points. So eventually you could build it up to getting a gift certificate from them.
Yeah.
So
I honestly, Criterion and
It's
Vinegar
also a way
Syndrome,
of supporting them directly as well.
exactly.
Criterion and Vinegar Syndrome are two companies I just don't buy from unless there's like the sale because they're just so expensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
All
tend
right.
to, if I want it really bad, though, I'll pay that $27.99 on release on Amazon or something.
Yeah, Amazon for that, but like Vinegar Syndrome, it's like $45 for.
Yeah, no, I'll pass on that.
Yeah, I wait. I know a lot of people do it right away. That's fine, and I do for a lot of stuff. But for me, Criterion and Vinegar are just two that I wait until July and then the Black Friday sale, and it makes it fun too because then you could go crazy in July and November for Criterion.
Yeah, and you can kind of make your wish list throughout the year on titles you want to pick up. So, yeah. All right, so we're on to round 2, everybody. And this is going to be Criterion titles we are excited to pick up because I know some people had some questions on that in the chat. So I hope everybody has their notes ready to go with this one. Let's go to the 4K lowdown. Take it away.
Okay. Well, in addition to, I just added a whole bunch of stuff to my wish list from you guys. So great stuff. Ones that I already had is kind of one I wanted to talk about. And the first, of course, I have Thief and Blowout on my list to get for the sale because I really want to get those movies. James Caan's Thief is amazing, and I can't wait to see the Criterion release of that. Also, I have Wall-E and The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, which are set to pre-order. I'm hoping those go on sale. Then, aside from that, I'm looking at some sets. The Bruce Lee's Greatest Hits. The KB, you brought that up. I really want that. Police Story 1 and 2 from Jackie Chan. I want those two. And the Once Upon a Time in China series from Jet Li. That's 5 movies on that set. I really want that. So those are the ones I'm looking forward to.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, that's coming out in January from Criterion.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Tim. You're up.
So I have a little short list here. One of my favorite things about Criterion is just going there and actually reading the backs. And sometimes I'll go with the list and leave with none of those and leave with completely different titles. So I don't even know if I'll get all these. I've only seen one of what I'm going to mention. Carnival of Souls. I never got it yet. I'm going to pick it up this time. Hopscotch, Walter Matthau. I definitely need that. Robinson Crusoe on Mars. I don't know anything about that one, but it's 1964 sci-fi. I'm in. The Ice Storm. I literally ran across that on the site. I've never seen that before, and it has a killer cast. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen it.
Tell me when you watch that, Tim. There's a certain scene that we need to discuss.
Okay. Hopefully I run across that at my store, but otherwise maybe I'll order it online as long as they have it. The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. Never saw that. That sounds excellent.
It's all right.
That's good.
Yeah. All right and good. Okay. Downhill Racer. Anyone? Downhill Racer?
Yeah, it's got Robert Redford in it and Gene Hackman. And,
Right.
You know, he's an Olympic skier, and Hackman's his coach, and it's from the late 60s. So it's good.
Okay, and then the last one I had, Ministry of Fear, because Fritz Lang.
Mm.
Good.
I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
James hasn't seen it, then I know it must be obscure. James, out of the 500 Criterion movies you have, how many have you seen?
Probably, I would say probably about 90% of them. So there's probably about 50 to 75 I haven't seen, somewhere thereabout. So I do have a little bit of a backlog.
I mean, for 90% of what you hit, I'd say that's a pretty darn good percentage in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to like, as I said before, the last few years sort of less is more approach, because I found myself like kind of piling up stuff, and it's like, oh, I hadn't seen that. So I'm trying to do less of that.
All right, let's go to KB.
Okay. Since I missed the flash sale, I actually have 2 lists, but I'll just go through the first one. I'm trying to focus more on the things that recently came out that I may have said, oh, it's October. I'll wait till November. It's September. So first and foremost, Malcolm X 4K. The In the Mood for Love 4K. I'm going back and forth. The color timing is an issue for me, so I might try to find the original Blu-ray and just settle with that. Wally, like Dave mentioned, the Infernal Affairs trilogy, Arsenic and No Lace, Blowout 4K, that came out in September, so I missed that. Buck and the Preacher, and Eve's Bayou. Those are the ones I'm definitely getting, and if, Black Friday looks kind of whack, then I'll go for the second list.
Cool.
All right, and then let's go to James.
All right, so I got a list of a few titles here that I'm going to pick up for this sale. One is a title that came out, I think September, or maybe actually it came out earlier this month, I think, and it's La Llorona, and it's from 2019. It's a Guatemalan film from director Jairo Bustamante, and it's like a ghost story, political story, and I'm intrigued by it. It's going to be a blind buy for me. I've never seen this film, but I always like to get exposed to new directors in different countries, and so this will be a new discovery for me. So looking forward to that. Eve's Bayou from director Cassie Lemons, and she was, Bob, you held up Silence of the Lambs. Of course, I love that movie. It's got Jodie Foster in it, but her FBI friend was Cassie Lemons, the lady who was her FBI teammate or whatever. She played in Silence of the Lambs, and then a few years later started directing films, and one of those films is Eve's Bayou. So want to pick that up. It's got Samuel L. Jackson, Lynn Whitfield, and some great stars in that. And then I plan on picking up Malcolm X 4K, of course, the Infernal Affairs trilogy, and Daisies, which is a film from like the Czech New Wave from Vera Chytilova. So planning on picking that up. I'm probably going to pass on the In the Mood for Love 4K. I have the original Blu-ray release, and I also have it in this World of Wong Kar-wai set on Blu-ray. And that 4K apparently doesn't have Dolby Vision. So probably going to skip that unless I see some reviews that, sway me differently, but probably going to pass on that. And I'm still on the fence about Wall-E 4K. I have the Disney, Blu-ray, and I'm trying to decide, do I want to pick that one up or not? So sort of on the fence, on that. And I may pick up a couple of other titles as well. I did a community post on my channel, just listing a few titles that I'm thinking about getting and seeing what people recommend. And a lot of people were recommending Exotica, so I might pick that one up as well. So
everyone thinks that Wall-E, now that Disney licensed that out, I wouldn't get too excited that we'll see a ton of Disney or Fox titles. I still wouldn't hold my breath. It could happen. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo something Ken said in one of his videos earlier. I'm gonna get it just to support the idea of Disney doing the license. And that's the only reason.
That's a good thought. Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think it's going to open the floodgates, but it shows that they're willing to play ball, and that is more movement than we've seen from Disney in a long time. So it gives me some hope.
Yeah, I don't expect everything.
Got hundreds of Fox titles that need Blu-rays or 4Ks. So,
well, they might license it out to other boutique labels if this one is successful.
I mean, they're going to make money. They're going to sell. I don't know why they. Wall-E's going to sell.
If you could print money without really any work, I mean, Criterion is doing the work. If you could print money by someone else doing the work for you, why wouldn't you want to do that?
And they're going to end up doing a better job than Disney did with their 4K release.
Yes.
We already know it.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, let's go. Bob, take it away.
I've got this one. Shout out to my guy Dell. Love that guy. Anytime I get a chance to talk about Dell, I will. He needs more subscribers. He's close to 100. Go subscribe to Dell on movies. Also, but he is the one who's recommended on his channel multiple times Love Jones, and I'm a big Lorenz Tate fan, so I want to pick up Love Jones. I do like romantic movies. That was on his stream or his video he did with his wife for their anniversary. They pulled Love Jones. Sex Lies and Videotapes. I love Andy McDowell. Menace to Society. I want to grab Love and Basketball. I cannot wait to rewatch that movie.
That's another good one.
It's so
good,
so darn good. Smooth Talk. I want to see based on Tim's recommendation. The Player based on Tim's recommendation. The Irishman I still have yet to see, and it's funny because I'll buy the Blu-ray of it, but I'll probably watch it on Netflix because it's a 4K, unless this transfers the same.
That's a really good movie.
And then Shaft, I want to grab that as well.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, I really enjoyed The Irishman. I really like that movie. It's really good.
But it's only a Blu-ray, right, of The Irishman, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The only, it's hard to call it a complaint, I guess, but it's a little off-putting sometimes with the de-aging. Like, I do kind of wish that they just hired other actors to play younger them. CGI de-aging like De Niro by 40 years or something like that. It's a lot.
It's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mika. She said I was gonna say I hope you all grab Eve's Bayou. So based on Mika alone, I will write down Eve's Bayou. And
same thing. I trust Mika's recommendation. I've never seen it, but
I do trust Mika, so I will add that right now.
All right, I'll go with my wish list here. So on Tim's stream yesterday, a movie came up, and I'm like, I have no idea what that movie is. But then it was Night of the Living Dead, and I've never seen that movie before. So I want to get the 4K from Criterion, so perfect moment for that.
That's wonderful.
I want to get the 4K of Blowout because I've never seen that movie, but I've only heard great things. And James, you really hyped it up, so it gets me more excited for that one. So I really want to see it. I do want to get WALL-E. Once again, I try to get movies that are easy watching, but I've never seen WALL-E before, so it's going to be my first time watching WALL-E. So hopefully it looks cool on 4K. Malcolm X, I do want to see as well because that's getting a 4K, and I like historical kind of movies. So those are the 4Ks I want. And then for Blu-ray, maybe Arsenic and Old Lace, just because you guys are kind of talking about it, saying it's a pretty good comedy.
It's a blast. You'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then this one that got recommended a lot to me by some other person I know, but nobody brought it up today, was The Big Chill. And it sounded like it might be a movie I might really enjoy because it's like an 80s movie. What do you guys think of The Big Chill? Is that a pretty easy watch?
Great Motown soundtrack.
Yeah, great soundtrack on that.
Yeah, I don't have that one, but it's an awesome soundtrack. Killer soundtrack.
Yeah, so that's my wish list right there. And I'm trying to get more of the 4Ks just because I'm really cautious about if I get a Blu-ray, is then Criterion soon after going to release it. So I'm trying to get more 4Ks than Blu-rays. That's kind of my approach.
Smart move.
All right.
Everything's getting a darn 4K anyways, so
yeah, that's right.
Honestly, I've been starting to get a lot more picky, waiting for sales because they're doing sales every other week nowadays.
I've given up trying to jump on them all. Whatever. There's another one.
I can't. I missed the Olive Film sale because I was like, there's a sale every week. You go crazy on one, and then there's another one, and I just and Tuesdays I'm not. You'll see, I'm not getting nearly as much. It's hard to keep up.
Yep.
And a different label releases the same movie as 6 months later.
Yeah, we got mid-level saying I like to do the flash sale and sit the big ones out. Helps me regulate myself. There you go.
He might tempt himself though. He's gonna go into the stores to film a video, and he might tempt himself.
He was pretty good in July. I'll give him credit.
Yeah, he was.
All right, Mika says the Ice Storm is excellent, Tim. Of course, Sigourney Weaver can't go wrong.
I saw her
Nice
in the
film.
cast list along with a lot of good people. I'm like, heck yes. So
Yeah.
Ang Lee. That's
nice
one
film.
of his early movies.
yeah.
All right, James watches his movies. Despicable. What does that be?
Despicable Me.
If you all enjoyed The Departed, please grab Infernal Affairs. I do really like The
Yeah, I'm
Departed.
looking forward to that.
Mhm.
I'm looking
I
forward
forgot
to it.
about that one actually. So yeah, I do want that.
Very
That
much
just
so.
hit my
Is that
wish
one a
list.
4K one?
I need to upgrade this.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's just
And
the
one of the
first one.
actors in Infernal Affairs, he appears in I forgot his name, Tony Leung. He appears in The Mood for Love. He's one of the stars of In The Mood for Love, and love him in that. And so I'm looking forward to Infernal Affairs.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah, Infernal Affairs. That's the original one, right? And then like The Departed's like the remake of it. Is that correct?
Yeah. And it
Okay.
comes, the Criterion's going to come with the 2 sequels.
Yeah, all 3 films. Yeah.
All right, Trenny says I definitely want to grab that Infernal Affairs.
Mhm.
All right, thanks for reminding me of Buck and the Preach.
That is such a great release. I love that release. It's Sidney Poitier. He directed that film, and what makes that release what I loved about that release is the features and the interviews. There's some really nice interviews on there with Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte and their process of making that movie and working together, and just some of the history dealing with some of the challenges as Black actors coming up through that system during their time. You get a lot of that historical perspective, some really nice archival interviews that really just tell you a lot more about these men who were behind making that movie. So I really enjoyed that. It's really good. And the film's good too. So nice
Mika
Western.
says, yes, I was going to say, I hope you all grab Eve's Bayou, such a great film with a great cast. Lynn Whitfield and Samuel. Okay, see, now that sells me on it almost right there.
Yeah.
Samuel
Jackson.
Jackson.
I'm planning on picking it up. Samuel L. Jackson.
It's a great movie.
Yep.
Guest says, I'm passing by on The Mood for Love 2, James, for the same reason.
See, I might just get the original Blu-ray. I don't know yet.
So what's wrong with it? You said the color grading on it isn't correct, or
it's green.
Oh.
How would you describe it, James?
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit more of a greenish tint to it. So some people have don't really care for it. So it's a matter of personal preference.
Yeah.
So
the way. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this movie got railed for color timing though. Also, I thought it looked good, but I didn't have a comparison point. So I wonder if you don't have a comparison point.
That's it.
I thought this looked great.
Yeah, I saw the original In the Mood for Love on DVD, and then the Criterion version. So it's like that's what I'm used to seeing. So just having this change of it, it's just too much, and it reminds me of The Matrix a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Guest says I'm getting Wall-E because it comes with Dolby Vision.
Indeed.
There you go. Yeah, it looked like a really nice release. I mean, it looked like you had a lot of special features there. It looked like the 4K quality was there. So they're doing it right.
I hope
I'm probably gonna end up picking it up. I mean, I'm gonna walk in there Thanksgiving week and it's gonna be sitting there, and I'm gonna pick up Malcolm X and I'm just gonna grab it along with it.
Yep.
That's probably what's gonna happen.
And it's only available with the 4K combo. You can't just get the Blu-ray of it. It's just a 4K combo.
I do want to see. I actually want to grab Malcolm X because I haven't seen that, and I've been dying to. I own the digibook, but I'm just gonna wait to watch the Criterion 4K.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time, and those special features. It looks like it's gonna be one of the best editions of the year based on the supplements.
Mika says Love Jones is a great film.
100%.
All right. Anna says, oh my gosh. Yes, Wall-E. Hey, that might be the first Criterion title she watches then. Yay. Date Night with Wall-E. There you go.
Might be the first one she gets.
All right. What? You haven't seen Wall-E? No, haven't seen Wall-E yet. Let's see. Mika says I didn't upgrade my Night of the Living Dead 4K for Criterion. Don't think I will, but it's a great movie, Mike. So you should grab. Yeah, and I almost picked it up in the last sale, but I didn't because I reached like my limit. I do my budget. I'm like, okay, I won't go over the limit. But I'm glad I didn't pick it up because then they had the 4K announced, and I'm like, yes, good thing I didn't pick it up.
The 4K
and that's
is
great.
incredible. Though. It's a really good upgrade.
Yeah, I saw Ken's review of it, and he said that it is a little bit of a noticeable upgrade. So I'm considering it because I really love that film. That is such a great film.
I do notice more than anything though, black and white, especially with like HDR and stuff, it gets such an upgrade in 4K.
Yeah.
With outside of like some of the ones that oversaturate colors or whatnot, make them look waxy. I think complaining about transfers is overdone in my opinion. I'm happy that we get Blu-rays, so I think 4Ks look great. Like I don't get into the transfer game. If I got it on 4K, I'm enjoying it. Like I think it looks great. I don't dive too much into I don't understand it the way that most of you guys do, but I love I'm so happy. I think 4K, I don't think it's ever going to look better than that. I don't see how it can.
All right, mid-level says I'm picking up stuff this month, not sitting out. Oh, so you're gonna
all right,
have a good month
Ken.
for it.
Ken.
All right.
Jump in,
There you
buddy.
go.
Well, you forgot actually he was definitely gonna get the Wally. I feel like he's gonna have a review up for Wally because that's a huge release and you can't miss that one.
Oh yeah.
I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, I'm reviewing Malcolm X for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Culture Trini. There you go, KB. I have the DVD, Blu-ray, and a steelbook. Can't wait to see that Criterion transfer.
Awesome.
All right, Mika says not Criterion related, but since you were talking about Sydney sorry, I'm never gonna be able to say that name right.
Portier.
I recommend his new documentary, Sydney.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard about that. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Thank you, Mika.
Let's see. Culture Trini says, "Yep, I kept my original Blu-ray of In the Mood."
Good move.
I guess says apparently the color timing for The Mood for Love was director approved.
Yep.
I guess to be
I got a
fair,
question.
James
Yeah,
Cameron
we
approved T2, so
I got a question for most of you on here. Do you all almost always upgrade your Blu-ray to 4K if it comes out, or are you very picky, or do you like refuse? I'm not upgrading.
I'm picky.
I'm very
I'm
picky.
I
picky.
won't upgrade Blu-ray to 4K. Like if I have the Blu-ray, unless it's one of my favorite movies of all time, I won't upgrade. Now, if it's DVD to 4K, then yeah, but Blu-ray to 4K usually not.
Some of this,
I'm very
especially newer Blu-rays, especially boutique labels in particular, like Synapse Films. I mean, the Blu-rays look great. Some of these I mean, they look great. Absolutely incredible. I mean, my question is like, how much of a difference, and I suppose it depends on the release, but from Blu-ray to 4K, is there a big enough difference in $30 or $25 to pay? You know what I mean?
It comes down to HDR to me. I mean, the 4K resolution matters, but I swear HDR is like a game changer.
Yeah.
I think James and I share the same sentiment as far as like upgrading some, leaving others alone, whether it's DVD or Blu-ray. So like the Matrix series, I think we both upgraded to 4K for the first one and left the others, left them back there somewhere.
I've got Reloaded and Revolutions on DVD, and I'm fine with it. But I got the original Matrix on 4K. I upgraded it.
I'd be very curious to hear Paramount's sales on their Paramount Presents titles to 4K and how they actually do, if they sell really well or if they don't. Tim,
they probably dropped off because people were so upset with releases like Fatal Attraction, and now they're doing the same thing with Wayne's World, where they had the Blu-ray and the Blu-ray Steelbook, and now they're getting the 4K. I get tired of that.
I upgraded Fatal Attraction, and I think I'm done upgrading.
Yeah, I heard the transfer was terrible.
Well, I'm
really?
just sick of upgrading. I paid $22. They're not even going on sale. If you're gonna put the 4K out, at least drop your Blu-ray price.
Right.
But they're not. So if I'm paying $22 for those, I'm not paying $25 or $20 for something, and it's a 4K scan for the Paramount Presents line.
For me, I'm not upset about the releasing of the older ones because Paramount Presents didn't go into 4K yet, so I don't really care. But now the Paramount Presents line itself is in 4K. I'd be mad if something came out as Blu-ray and then a 4K came, because the line itself has already transitioned into doing 4K. But like Fatal Attraction was the first release, right? That they released like 3 on the same day, and that's in that's number 2. So I'm okay that got a 4K. I don't want to upgrade it. I don't need to upgrade it, but it doesn't bother me that it got one. But like I said, if like Blue Hawaii is coming out, if that gets a 4K after the fact, I would be upset.
Is that not getting a 4K from Paramount Presents?
I'm pretty sure it's just a Blu-ray Paramount Presents. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I don't know. But I know there's like the War of the Worlds. Everybody said the Criterion one looked great.
Oh, it's fantastic. But the Paramount Presents one though actually includes the second
comes
movie.
with another movie,
Yeah, but yeah, it's just like a lot of people were saying. I mean, it just comes down for me. If I really love the movie, like for example, like Citizen Kane, I have an older Blu-ray release of it when it was announced for Criterion 4K. It was absolute no-brainer. I was getting that. Double Indemnity, I've got a nice Blu-ray edition of that, but when Criterion announced the 4K of Double Indemnity, one of my favorite films of all time, I was like, no-brainer, I'm upgrading on that. And of course, Parasite, love it so much, so I triple dipped on that, but I wouldn't do that for every movie for sure.
If this got a 4K and this is only like a year-old release, I still wouldn't even complain, and I would upgrade this in a freaking millisecond because I love the
Death
movie.
Proof? Okay.
Breakdown.
Breakdown.
Oh, Breakdown. Oh,
Kurt Russell.
That's the Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Love this movie and waited so long. So
that is a good movie.
And Imprint put that out too.
Yeah, I bought the imprint for like almost $40, and then this got announced. But whatever, I don't care. I love the movie.
But you're collecting all of the Paramount Presents too, so right?
That's why I picked this one up.
Yeah,
but again, I don't care though. I waited 15 years for this to hit Blu-ray, so I would upgrade this to 4K. So yeah.
And that's what's tough for somebody like myself. I'm very big into numbered spines, so when War of the Worlds gets announced, I'm like, despite owning the Criterion, I'm gonna get the Paramount Presents because it's number 33 or whatever it is.
Right.
Okay.
And it's such a low number so far, especially if you get into it from the beginning. It's easy to collect them, and once you start, it's hard to stop, right, Tim?
Yeah.
I love that line. I love them. So yeah, I'm not stopping.
All right, we got Mama Blu-ray in the house. Hi guys, hello Mama Blu-ray.
Hey, Mama Blu-ray.
Guys saying hello to Mama.
Now I got a smile on my face. Mama Blu-ray's here.
I'm scared to give Sue my credit card.
Don't give it to her.
This is not the month to
hide
do
it.
that.
Hide the credit card.
All right, Gus says, laugh out loud, Mama Blu-ray. It will get a run for it life this week. Yep. All right, Culture Trini Buck and the Preacher is great. Harry Belafonte was so good.
Yeah. He's still with us too. 90 years old, I think.
God
Mama
bless
Blu-ray
him.
says, I heard that. Adam Con A. What's good, gentlemen? Nice to see you guys. I don't think I've seen
Nice to see
Adam,
you, Adam.
Con in my
Howdy,
chat
Adam.
before. So welcome to the channel. This gives me a good chance to say, hey, if you're discovering my channel for the first time, definitely give a subscribe. Smash that like button, turn on that notification bell, and definitely subscribe to all these other great blue tubers here. All their links are in the description. All right, Mama Blu-ray. Hi, Bob. All right, Amazing Anna. Mega Mike be telling me his orders mostly every day. Not mad at all since I went to the Lego store the other day and got some sets that I told him about, kind of. So he did not tell me about those.
Lego's expensive though, too.
Oh, yeah. Her Legos, she'll buy like those Lego flower sets, and they're like $50-$60 a piece.
On the opposite side of my computer, we've got the Disney Castle and Hogwarts Castle, and that's like close to $1,000 worth of Lego just with those two sets.
I'm on a Blu-ray, Mika. All right. I don't always upgrade Blu-ray to 4K. Sometimes the Blu-ray actually looks better, and that I find than the 4K.
Yeah.
Hi, KB. How's your night going, Mama Blu-ray? You and Sue watch your films yet? All right, love it. I guess says if it's a true native transfer plus DV HDR, then it's worth it. But if it's just an upscale, then you're just buying for HDR and a tiny up stick in detail.
Yeah, it's kind of like that whole idea of diminishing returns. Just like VHS to DVD, pretty nice upgrade. DVD to Blu-ray, really nice upgrade, noticeable upgrade. Blu-ray to 4K, it's not as big of a difference in many
I
cases.
couldn't agree more with that statement. I'm gonna have to have like a 6-hour session one day with Gus where he like tutors me on the upgrade and transfer because he seems very knowledgeable with that stuff.
Oh yeah.
It seems like though with most newer movies, I can get away with the Blu-ray if I wanted. It's the old stuff that really benefits.
Yeah, film.
Oh, I
Film
love
usually
this.
benefits.
Yeah, because the new stuff is shot digitally. It's already clean. It looks great.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
I
not
think
to mention, most of the CGI is done in 2K anyways.
Yeah.
What does it matter?
One of the best 4Ks I've watched so far. I mean, outside of like just the studio, I mean, Shawshank Redemption looks incredible in 4K.
Oh, really?
Once again,
I don't
film.
have that one.
Yeah.
All right. And then we got Adam Kahn. I Want Love Story on 4K from Paramount Plus.
Cool.
Good movie.
Mama Blu-ray. Yep. We watched Hocus Pocus 1 and 2.
Cute.
No, I cannot. No. I couldn't get through Hocus Pocus 2. Did you guys like it out there?
I
didn't even bother.
I have not seen it.
I couldn't do it.
I've not heard good things about it.
Yeah, it put me to sleep like halfway through, and I'm just, no.
What Derek would say, focus.
You know, I in one of my videos I said what Derek said, and they came after me too. So I was like, I was just promoting Derek's channel in his video.
Amazing Ann says, Mika, of course, I brought him something back. And what kind of wife would I be if I brought everything for myself? Well, there we go. Yeah, right. Mika says, perfect Halloween movies. Yeah. Well, first one, I'll agree, but not second. Breakdown. There we go. Nice. Yeah. Mom Blu-ray, Bob, want me to sing you a song?
As long as it's not 3 more days till Halloween.
Oh my god. Your face in the bottom of the screen when that was going last night, he was like this, holding over his ears. It was so funny.
That song it's so just some people say like catchy. It's not good.
All right, Mika says Breakdown is such a fun movie. I've been waiting a long time for that one as well. Amazing Ann says, Mama Blu-ray, how do you feel about Hocus Pocus 2? She has my numbers memorized. Oh, for the card. Anna, it was entertaining. Oh, glad you enjoyed it, Mama Blu-ray. Anna says, I just got the Christmas tree Lego set. Oh, there we go. That's, I guess, our Christmas tree this year.
It's ready for Christmas.
Magic Hands, it depends on the 4K upgrade for it to look better. Yeah, not all 4K is done the same, so it's really just title specific. Amazing Anna, Mom Blu-ray, I can see that from growing up with the first one. I wasn't feeling the second one as much. I'll have to watch it again. Evil Kangaroo, hey, sorry, I gotta go now. It was fun seeing to you all on the show. Well, thank you, Evil Kangaroo, for sticking
Good to meet
around.
you.
Appreciate it. I hope you can watch the rest on the replay. All right, Mika says, I enjoyed Hocus Pocus 2 for what it was. You have to think that the film is 29 years later, so can't really compare to the original. Fun time. All right, glad you enjoyed it. All right, let's get into our third round here. All right, so for our third round, any titles you want to see from Criterion? Once again, these can be specific movie titles or just types of titles, whether it's genres or maybe a specific director or actor. So yeah, I didn't get this question really specific, so I'm glad to see, hey, what people are going to come up with this one. So let's go to the 4K lowdown. Take it away.
Okay. Well, you guys, my thing is I love the old school kung fu theater, and that's one thing I'd like to see more of from Criterion, because I'm looking forward to the Bruce Lee set, Once Upon in China, and Police Story. I just saw Half a Loaf of Kung Fu on the Criterion channel, and that was a whole lot of fun. So I want to see some more kung fu theater. The old school 70s kung fu, like Five Deadly Venoms, 36 Chamber of Shaolin, things like that. I would love to see stuff like that come into Criterion. And as added bonus, I know this is probably not Criterion style, but I am trying to get. I'm going to be on my soapbox for this one. Count of Monte Cristo and The 13th Warrior. Those are the two movies that I want on 4K. I don't care which boutique label does them. If Criterion would do them, that'd be great. But I want those two movies on 4K as soon as possible. I don't care where they come from.
Awesome. And are you talking about, because how many Count of Monte Cristo movies are there? Are there just 2 of them?
There's a few.
There's a few of them, right?
There's 3 that I'm aware of. I'm talking about the Jim Caviezel 2002.
Oh yeah, that one's really good.
That's my
I
favorite.
really like that movie. All right, and then let's go to Tim.
This is actually the round I was most excited about. I feel Criterion is lacking on I don't know, the 60s, 70s, 80s like action, but not the like Arnold Schwarzenegger type stuff. I'm talking more something like Bullet. I feel like Bullet would be like perfect in the Criterion collection. So that would be a great one. I mean, we already have Steve McQueen in there, so let's have some more Steve McQueen. I would love. I'm not. And no, most of these can't happen. I know this is just dream world. Double feature box set for these two, especially Westworld, though, would be amazing. Again, won't happen, but I feel Nightingale would perfectly fit into their collection. Exactly their type of movie. This is super, super, super out of print. Twilight Time. This is Mr. Hobbs Takes a Vacation. I imported the whatever country this is from Blu-ray just because the Twilight Time is so damn expensive. But I would love a new release of Mr. Hobbs Takes a Vacation. James Stewart is already in the Criterion collection, so why not? You know, I could get a better version than this one. I feel this is my own personal bias, but I would like to see them dive a little bit more into horror that's important for certain reasons. They dive into low budget stuff. So this would be an awesome Criterion release with a whole bunch of special features because the making of this movie is bananas. Everything that they went through. A nice, huge documentary with Sam Raimi and Robert Tapper and Bruce Campbell involved. I would love it. Love it, love it, love it. I would give a kidney for that. And then last one, because of Audrey Hepburn, I would absolutely adore a Breakfast at Tiffany's. I don't have the separate release because it's really not that good. It's the same exact disc as this. So, but yeah, Breakfast at Tiffany's would be a killer release from Criterion. And I feel like some months they don't have that big release that makes people go, wow. And I feel like Breakfast at Tiffany's would be like, oh, wow, you know, one of Audrey Hepburn's best. It's a classic. I would love it so much. So, yes, Breakfast at Tiffany's, please. So
nice.
That's the type of stuff I want from them.
Yeah, I've still never seen Breakfast at Tiffany's, so I need to watch that one.
It holds up perfectly besides one character who is very much so part of the time period. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Make it Rooney.
But otherwise, it's a fantastic movie.
All right, KB, take it away.
All right. I got 4. I have 2 individual titles and 2 box sets. Starting off with what Tim was just saying with Twilight Time, a lot of their releases never got, the licensing never went anywhere as far as anyone else putting out a Blu-ray or even now 4K. So I will start with 1943 Stormy Weather. I would love to see that get a release. It is an important classic film. Stars Lena Horne, Bill Robinson, and what are their names? Cab Calloway's in it. And then you have the brothers. What are it? The Nicholas brothers. With if you ever seen that tap dance routine where they're jumping over each other down the flight of steps, that's from that movie. So I would love to see Stormy Weather join the Criterion collection. Another one, and this might happen with Kino because they recently partnered with Paramount Pictures, but I would love to see Criterion do it since they have a really good working relationship with Martin Scorsese, and that's Bringing Out the Dead, starring Nicolas Cage.
Great
that
movie.
Needs an upgrade. It's DVD only. it's cheap enough to find, but the transfer is so it needs an upgrade. If not 4K, definitely Blu-ray. So I would love to see them do that. And I would also like to see the special features that they could pull out for that, because it's a fascinating movie. 2 box sets. A couple of years ago, British Film Institute redid a whole bunch of old Alfred Hitchcock movies. They called it the Hitchcock 9. Some of them came out on BFI. Some of them came out on Criterion. So like Lodger, Downhill, things like that. I want to see the others. So we're talking early Hitchcock movies when he was still in Britain. So we're talking Pleasure Garden, Waltzes from Vienna, Sabotage, Secret Agent, and just to add it to the mix, since that's a DVD only, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I would like to see those come out in an early Hitchcock set. And a couple of people have discussed this in past live streams or Instagram chats. They need to bring out a Spike Lee box set. Just call it Spike Lee Joints. There are 15 movies in the Godzilla box set that Criterion has. Spike is on his 25th feature. So if they could take half of those movies and include them, I think that'd be awesome. A couple that I would definitely want in there would be movies that haven't been released on anything, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, like Joe's Bed-Stuy Barbershop, We Cut Heads, his early releases that are DVD only, so She's Gotta Have It, Girl 6. I am not paying $100 for a DVD. I refuse to. And they already have a partnership with Netflix, so it'd be nice to see them bring the 5 Bloods to at least Blu-ray. Yeah. And then I want the documentaries too. I want 4 Little Girls. I want Michael Jackson's Bad 25. I want the TV documentaries like Kobe Doing Work. Have them all in a box set with, like I said, like 15 or so, just to keep it affordable. Nobody wants to pay $300 for a Criterion set. So I think that'd be nice. Spike Lee Joints. I got the name already. Make it happen.
Love that.
And KB, to touch on Hitchcock, when I was looking through the site too, Spellbound is still only a DVD.
Yes, a DVD.
I would love Spellbound to get a Bluray.
Yeah,
I have Spellbound on Blu-ray.
Yeah, Spellbound has a studio Blu-ray. I'm talking about
Criterion.
Criterion released the DVD, but they never released a Blu-ray.
And they had it in a box set for a limited time, but they never upgraded to Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it's only a matter of time because they're in spine number order with Notorious and Rebecca, and it's like they're all like in that same spine number order. Yeah, and I think it's only a matter of time before it comes out.
I hope so. I really.
But
do.
those Hitchcock 9 movies, they need to come out somewhere. Like I said, BFI did some, Criterion did some. Just bring out the rest.
It was really weird seeing Stage Fright come from was it Warner
Kino.
Archive?
Warner Archive.
Or Kino.
Oh,
Kino.
no.
Or is it?
Oh, is it Kino?
No, I think it's Warner
Archive.
I think it is Warner
Archive. But Kino got a couple of them too.
Yeah.
They got Rich and Strange and a couple other ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, James, you're up.
All right. Well, yeah, I definitely would echo KB's thoughts on Hitchcock. Hitchcock is my favorite director, all-time director, and so I always love it to see. I always love seeing Criterion release more Hitchcock. So the more Hitchcock they want to put out, the better. The Lodger's a great example of that. I've got this old Mill Creek DVD set of Hitchcock's films, and so when you see films like The Lodger from that old DVD set, and you see the Criterion version that's fully restored and on a Blu-ray, it is like night and day. You really appreciate the restoration work they put into that. Or like The Man Who Knew Too Much, seeing it on that old DVD, looking as bad as it looked from that old Mill Creek, to seeing it on this wonderful restored, Criterion 4K Blu-ray. It's just fantastic. So the more Hitchcock, the better. I also would love to see Criterion do, and this has been rumored for a long time, but I would love to see a Kurosawa box set or see Kurosawa films on 4K. They're in the 4K now. I would absolutely love if this film was released on 4K, or like, Seven Samurai. I believe there's a 4K restoration of Seven Samurai. So it just feels like bring it on a 4K disc. Bring this movie on a 4K disc. Give us Rashomon on 4K, one of my favorite Kurosawa films, or Kurosawa's Dreams. So a wonderful Kurosawa box set, or release some of Kurosawa's titles on 4K. I would love that. And then I think about like the someone mentioned Clute earlier, and of course Clute's in the collection. That's an Alan J. Pakula film. You've got Donald Sutherland, Jane Fonda. You've also got it's part of his Paranoia trilogy. So it's Clute, followed up by the Parallax View, starring Warren Beatty, which is in the collection on Blu-ray. And then the third film in that is All the President's Men, with Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman, basically, covering the whole. It's the fictionalized account of the reporters who broke the wall, Watergate story. And so it just seems like at some point we should see, from Criterion, hopefully All the President's Men. It would only make sense if they released the first two films in that Pakula trilogy. Hopefully All the President's Men would get a future release, and maybe, 4K. So, would love to see that. But yeah, more Hitchcock, more, Kurosawa upgrades, and, bring us that, completion of the Alan J. Pakula Spellbound. Of course, I also think about some other releases. For quite some time, I was hoping this would get a 4K release from Criterion Videodrome, but actually this week I'm getting the Arrow limited edition 4K of it. But wouldn't mind if Criterion did their own 4K of this one, as well as this film here, Two Lane Blacktop, one of my favorites from the early 70s. So I'm really dreaming now, but Thief and Medium Cool upgrades would also be awesome. So
James, I have a talking about a dream. How much would you pay for a theoretical? Hitchcock was just over 50 movies, right? Wasn't it like 51, 52 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
What would you pay for a box set where all the studios work together and you get every single Hitchcock in one collection, all on at least Blu-ray? Because that would be,
Wow,
I'd pay quite a bit for that.
I'd probably go $300. I think
that would be worth a few $100s in my mind.
300 would be cheap for 52 movies, especially depending on how they package it.
That would be an incredible deal, I think. Especially for those older films that, from his British period, films, that are, like Juno and the Paycock or the Manxman, those old films that have never seen Blu-ray, to bring those in fresh restorations on either Blu-ray or 4K would be sweet.
See, something like that. The reason I think so many studios and labels never do something even remotely close to that is it's so much money, and it's probably not going to sell that well. Something being that large, because it's a lump sum of money. It's not a cheap thing. You can't just sell it for $100. Probably not even 300. Probably be closer to $500, $600, $700, $800 for something like that.
I do wonder though. So I have, granted, this is DVD, but let me grab it. It's a heavy son of a bitch. All right, it's heavy. But I have this gigantic beast. This is 75 movies from Fox.
Oh wow.
It's heavy as fuck. But this thing was $299 or $350 at release, but this is back in the days of DVD. So it's possible to release something huge with a lot of movies at a pretty economical-ish price. I mean, I don't think $350 is. I didn't pay near that. I paid $150, $120, something like that, which I don't know. I think it's a pretty badass set. Like this is almost the entire history of Fox in one giant set. But this is kind of what I want out of a Hitchcock set.
That's
gigantic monster.
Yeah.
Or just redo the House of Hitchcock. I know you have that set too, Tim. Just do that.
That's a great set.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bob, you're up.
All right. I would love to see going and piggybacking on some box sets. I just saw Shout Factory. I think Shout Select announced that Jackie Chan set. I would love to see Jet Li get a box set. I think that would be cool.
Yes.
Coach Carter, piggybacking
Oh, yes.
movies.
Yes,
Mm.
please.
I think Coach Carter would be a pretty cool one.
Oh, yeah.
The Bone Collector, speaking on horror movies, I think that's right up Criterion's
Mhm.
alley. And The Bone Collector is a good one. It's not just some shoe-in. Simon Birch, that was just brought up, how
Yes.
that doesn't even have a Blu-ray. I don't know if Criterion would ever do that, but I just want to see that on Blu-ray. Netflix movies, I haven't seen it yet, but it would be cool for Blonde to get a Blu-ray or 4K.
I think that's coming.
I love Ana de Armas, so
I think that's coming.
I just want to see this on physical media. Prey from Hulu. I don't care who does it.
I think there was rumors of maybe.
Yeah, and then lastly, honestly, so I guess this movie is like everybody's least favorite Best Picture winner, but I loved Crash. I would love to see that get like a Criterion release.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned Coach Carter because that's like one of my favorite movies of all time. So I'm like, yes, and especially if we could get in like 4K, something cool like that.
Actually,
Oh my
remember, how about a Remember the Titans Criterion?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, see, like touch on Criterion. I feel like doesn't touch on horror or sports nearly as much as they can. And there's some good
It's an opportunity.
Like,
I mean, they got Hoop Dreams, they got Love and Basketball. You know, they got a few things.
They got
in
the
there,
Olympic
but-
set.
Yeah,
What
the
did I
Olympic
say?
set.
There's some really good
And
sport.
Jump would be really good, I think, for
Yeah.
Criterion.
I just think there's a lot more sports movies they can do and a lot more horror as well. That doesn't get, not everything is, Scream, Halloween, and low budget B. Like there's some really good ones. And I think Bone Collector is a very good horror film.
That's with Denzel, right? Is that Denzel?
Denzel, Angelina Jolie. I think that movie.
Yeah, Denzel's gotten a lot of. I mean, this year is sort of like the year of Denzel with Mississippi Masala, Devil in the Blue Dress, 4K, and now we're getting Malcolm X. So the more Denzel in the collection, the better.
Criterion. I don't know, maybe whoever it is that decides stuff, they kind of latch on to certain actors and actresses or directors, and they will keep running with them. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, there's been a lot of Claudette Colbert coming as of late. So
Kino does that a lot too. Kino Lorber is huge on that.
Yeah.
Who's the one that Kino loves right now? I think he did like, oh gosh, I can't remember. He was the guy who did Death Wish. What's his name? Charles Bronson.
Bronson. They were doing.
I'm really excited about that release coming out.
Lorber and Chuck Norris now. Like Kino's got. I feel like labels in general have their niche.
I think they released quite a bit of Fred McMurray movies in a short amount of time too.
Yeah, like you said, Criterion. I mean, Denzel is one of them right now. I'll take. I mean, nobody's complaining about Denzel. I'll take as many films as you want to put out of his that I can handle. John Q would be a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, now to go with my titles. I think I'm going to go a little bit more mainstream with a lot of them. So I would definitely love a lot more Disney titles because we are getting that WALL-E release. So I would go with A Nightmare Before Christmas on 4K. That would be an awesome animated title to get. Pixar titles like Finding Nemo, Coco. And then also I got the thinking more Disney with like Holes, but do a cover like this with the cutouts, but with actually holes on the front cover. Holes is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think that'd be an awesome design.
I want to give you a hug through the screen after mentioning Holes.
I love Holes.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
It is literally on my top 10 lists of all time. Like that's how much I love Holes. So.
For being a movie aimed at kids, it has some dark themes to it, and it's just so much fun. Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, there's not a flaw to the movie at all. Like literally everything is great. The acting, the story, the soundtrack. I think it uses flashbacks better than pretty much any movie I've seen. Like it's so seamless. It's really underrated in my opinion. I love Holes.
That's awesome.
And then I would also go with like the Rocky movies. I know we're now getting like 4K studio releases of that, but if we got like a 4K Criterion set, and then especially like the director's cut for Rocky 4, because I don't think we've gotten that physical media release yet, right? Of the director's cut?
Yeah, no physical of that.
Yeah. So
there's a rumor that the first 4 are coming out early next year. I know 1 and 2 are confirmed, but now they're saying 3 and 4 is possibility for the same day. I really hope 4 contains the director's cut.
Yeah, we need that director's cut. Rocky 4 is one of my favorite movies of all time. That's also on my top 10 list. So, and then since I'm a superhero fan, right? Mega Mike the Movie Man, I would also go with superhero titles, but I know Criterion's more classic, so I don't want to say the mainstream stuff, but I would go more the classic ones. I know Shout Factory did like the classic Doctor Strange, right? And I think they did Swamp Thing, or somebody did those, right? I would go with just random ones like Superman and the Mole Men. I know it's probably a terrible movie, but I would love to see it and just have it in the collection because, I'm a superhero fan, so I would love to see it one time, and it's a classic with Criterion. So to me, it worked.
I can actually picture, even though it's a Scream Factory title, I feel like Darkman would fit Criterion pretty well.
That's good.
I like that.
Oh yeah.
All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and take a look at the comments here, and then we'll go to our final bonus round. I don't want to keep everybody too long here, so we'll try to get through these as fast as I can. Let's see. All right, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, we saw that. Okay. And yep, I think we just, and we'll get into honorable mentions. Yep, Tim.
This one, Mika, it's a really good one. Marlene Dietrich, this all pre-code stuff. It's a really good box set. I got this for $28, but it's a damn great box set.
Yeah. The Police Story 2 is also a really good one. Jackie Chan, it's great. I mean, the features tell you a lot about, like, he does almost all his own stunt work, and you learn a lot about that, through the supplements, and that man is amazing. Jackie Chan.
Yeah. I just upgraded to the Eureka triple pack with Super Cop in it.
I wonder what Shout Select's going to put out for it's 1976 to 1982. So I'm wondering what they got the rights to and what's going to be in that little box set.
Yeah.
They're calling it Volume 1, so it makes you think maybe more volumes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, Amazing Anna says, Mika, yeah, I'm going to try to see if it is that, but it's not as spooky as the first one. That was my first scary movie that I was still kind of scared of. I'm thinking Hocus Pocus, right? Gus says, Mika, I like the Fellini set.
Yeah, this set is par excellence.
14 movies.
Yeah, but if as an alternative, because a lot of people don't want to splurge on a lot of these films, if you have not seen these films, or you want to say, okay, well, I don't know if I want to get this box set, but I do want to check out Fellini, then just get the separate edition of, say, 8.5, or Amarcord, and just watch that. And if that's up your alley, then as you see a couple of his films, then dive into this. Or like I think what's that? It's La Strada got a separate Blu-ray release. That would also be an excellent one to get. Stars Giulietta Massina, who is wonderful. So, but this set is amazing if you're up for that type of experience.
I do have to say that I give a lot of credit, though, that Criterion doesn't have a standard on how their box sets look or anything like that. They kind of just all their stuff is specialized to whatever it is they're releasing. Like the Godzilla one is its own thing. Nothing's like it. The Fellini is its own thing. The Bergman set
is its own thing.
Yeah, I love that.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Mika says, would love to see more horror titles, maybe some more modern horror titles. I've been loving the diversity with titles in terms of genre and directors, women directors. It would be a good opportunity to get Barbarian to 4K from Criterion. Let's do it. Not for Tim, but
for women directors, like I showed Nightingale, Jennifer Kent getting not only Nightingale, but Babadook, I feel would fit perfectly into Criterion.
I need to see Nightingale so badly. I know it's a tough. I know it's a tough watch. I'm not I'm accustomed to that.
Yeah, a couple of women directors here for these two movies here. Brilliant. Boat People and Adoption. They came out earlier this year. This is Marta Meseros, a Hungarian director. Wonderful. And Hui did Boat People. So a couple of women directors there. Yeah, but yeah, Criterion's doing. I mean, they're making a real concerted effort. Last couple of years, and leaning heavily more into like directors of color, women directors, and really bringing more filmmakers under the tent. So that's great.
which is always cool. Always a nice thing. Anytime labels do that, studios labels.
All right, Mika says, "Okay, Gus, I'll add that to my list."
Yeah.
All right, yes, exactly. Nightingale, tough watch. I've never seen it before. So.
I have
Oh,
not
man.
either.
Me neither.
It's some of the angriest I've been at a movie. There's a spot in the movie where I just wanted to like kill everyone on the screen.
I think the angriest I've ever been watching a movie was Hotel Mumbai.
Me too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mine
theaters.
definitely Dunkirk though.
Oh Jesus!
I had to plug in a little Dunkirk there at that.
Oh man!
I didn't mean
Zing.
angry because I didn't like it. I meant angry because they
Yeah.
it's just so realistic and brutal.
Yeah, that's Nightingale. So yeah. Get yourself in the right frame of mind before you watch it. But it's excellent.
I've watched a lot of films very similar. I heard it's like 2.5 hours too, right? Just about something like that. I wanted to see it in theaters. It just didn't come wide enough for me to get around to it.
And it's a mix of English and what is it, like Aborigine or something like that?
Language barriers don't bother me. I would rather sit down and watch subtitles rather than dub a movie. I can't stand dubs.
Yeah.
It just ruins it.
Same way.
It doesn't match. It doesn't line up at all.
Yeah.
It's funny. No one has
And you
mentioned
lose the
Clemency
acting.
tonight.
You lose the performance
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
dubbing.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Culture Trini says Mika, America Lost and Found box set. I haven't heard of that one. A good
It's
one.
a good one.
It's an older one.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Trini. I'll add that to the list.
Yeah, Jack
right.
Nicholson's involved in those with Peter Bogdanovich and some other folks. It's good.
All right, Mika says I would love to see a Spike Lee box set. There you go. Love that name.
That's
KB.
a good one, KB.
I think about it a lot.
Spike Lee joint.
Huge Jane Fonda fan, so would love to on Golden Pound on Criterion. Also would love to see Serafina with Whoopi Goldberg on Criterion. Haven't seen either of those.
KB,
really cool
when Criterion ends up using your name and they call it Spike Lee joint, that was you who said that, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You better get your money.
I would just settle for a free set.
Okay.
Just send me a set as a thank you.
Like trademark it. They already got. I mean, KB did all the work for them. They don't even have to think of a title. Now they just got to put the movies out.
Just get the licenses, man.
Yeah.
Do the transfers.
Adam Kahn. Oh, wait. What's the Jackie Chan set, Bob mentioned?
I tell them in the comments in the chat. It's from Shout Select.
Yeah.
Culture Trini. Funny you say Bronson just picked up about 5 Bronson movies from the Kino sale.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Mika says, "Love Holes." Yes, again. Bonus Sigourney.
Yes.
I'm telling you, Holes is so good.
Yes.
It's amazing.
I'm happy we have it on Blu-ray, but it's a shame that it's kind of locked away as just a Disney Movie Club exclusive.
I don't care what anyone says. I'm a Shia LaBeouf fan.
Yeah, I always liked him. He's kind of has his own personal problems, but as an actor, I always liked him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Great
definitely
actor.
talented actor.
I
He was actually
Peanut
the
Butter
best part in,
Falcon's
Peanut Butter Falcon, he was so good. in that.
so
one of
good.
my favorites of all time, and him and Dakota Johnson, I thought they were great together.
Yeah, and then The Tax Collector, not the best movie ever, but he was the best part in the movie. So
He tatted his whole chest for that.
yeah, Bob's Adam Kahn. It's that Jackie Chan box set from 1976 to 1982. It's volume 1. All right, Adam Kahn says, "I want Once Upon a Time in America by Leon by Criterion. It's impossible to get a decent Blu-ray on that."
Sergio Leone.
All right, and it's from Shout Bob.
Shout Bob.
Shout Select Line, possible January release, not officially announced yet. All right, Culture Trini, how many Criterion in your collection? My collection, I actually don't have a lot, probably about 20-ish, 21, 22.
3.
James, how big is your collection at for Criterion?
For Criterion, it's about half my total collection, so it's about 500 plus.
Oh, nice. And then Tim, how about you?
It's what's behind me. So this whole row down, I don't know how many that is. Maybe in between 100 to 200, somewhere in there.
Oh, wow. That's a lot too. KB, how about you?
I'm looking up a couple hundred.
Nice. Bob, you?
40, maybe. Criterion's probably not my favorite of the boutique labels, but the numbered spines also get me, and I can't keep up with their 1,200 releases.
I feel like I brought this up when so Bob ran that the boutique label tournament, which was a lot of fun. I personally feel like Criterion does the most stuff right. I feel like they're the most perfect label, personally.
I agree.
It's just all their movie selections might not hit everyone, but their packaging is on point. Their transfers are incredible. Their special features are better than mostly everybody. Like, they tick almost every box besides just if the movies themselves hit what you're going for or not.
Some people would say they want slip covers, Tim.
I mean, God,
You need all the room you could get.
So,
to
while
put
you
all
might
those
not get
movies.
slips, almost every Criterion includes a nice thick
Booklet.
inside.
Yeah, you get a booklet.
Like, you don't get, you might get a
I was
slip.
only teasing you.
Yeah, I know you were. But
I don't need slip
Yeah.
covers. I'm actually, it makes it easy when stuff doesn't come with a slip, because then you can buy it when you don't have to buy it day one, because it's not going to go out of print.
Well,
you don't have to worry about the slip.
That's the other. I think a big thing about Criterion is you don't really have to worry about most of this stuff. Some of their stuff will go out of print, but most of the stuff will be in print for years upon years upon
They've
years.
got 1,200 titles and only like 50 are out of print. That's a really good percentage. A really good percentage.
I honestly feel like if you put it down on paper, realistically, Criterion does the most stuff right.
Screen Factory's got 700 titles, and how many are out of print? Over 100.
Oh God, yeah.
Maybe over 200. So yeah, as far as that's why with Criterion, I missed the July sales. None of what I wanted is out of print, and I'm sure if I missed this sale, I could get them in July, and they'll still be in print July. So I do like that about Criterion. I like that about label. Like, Kino's pretty good about that too, I feel like.
And what I love about Criterion is just the variety. I mean, they're sort of known, and I think they sort of get a little bit of a rap for being a little bit artsy fartsy, so to speak. And they have plenty of that type of film for sure, but they also have a lot of mainstream, films. So they really have something for pretty much everybody, whatever your taste. I mean, there are people who are like, oh, I don't really like reading subtitles. I just want to watch American films, more contemporary films. Well, they have those. They have plenty of those. You can have a nice collection of Criterions of only that, like The Breakfast Club, or Dazed and Confused, or Fast Times at Ridgemont High. They have a lot of those types of movies. But then they also have the Fellinis and the Kurosawas and the Francois Truffaut, French New Wave, and Agnes Varda, and all that arts, stuff, which I love that as well. And, so you can get some of that. And then they have a lot of other, obscure stuff, but they got a nice mix of, foreign language films, United States films from around the world. It's just, multiple genres. There's a little bit of something, for everybody. I'm sort of more of the type that I like a lot of everything, but there are some people who are like, oh, I really just want to get into classic films, or I just like films that are more contemporary. And the good thing is that Criterion's got something, for those different tastes.
One thing I really enjoy about them is, speaking about booklets, it's not first pressing. Like, I love Arrow, they're my favorite, but their booklets
I like Arrow too.
They're first pressing only. And so with a lot of companies, booklets on the inside and slipcovers go away. Like that Dazed and Confused, you could get that 6 years later, and you're still going to get that like slide slipcover type of thing. It does, however it came is how it's going to come 6 years later. And that's nice, because a lot of companies, they're like, all right, well, that little digipack you're getting, it's going to be a standard release. With Criterion, it's still there 6 years later. That is something I cannot speak highly enough on.
Yeah. I just looked it up. Their outer prints, as far as Blu-rays, 13 out of the entire collection.
Jeez.
The majority of their outer prints are DVDs. So overall, 120 out of print. And you're talking out of 1,170 spine numbered. La Dolce Vita is one of them, but if you buy the Fellini set, you could still get it. And some of the other ones are ones that you could get from other studios. So things like Harold and Maude, or Rosemary's Baby, or Nashville, they're available in other places. You just can't get the Criterion.
And the good thing is, since we're going into the November sale at Barnes and Noble, you might get lucky and come across, going through, filing through or searching for the Criterions in there. You may see, oh, Rosemary's Baby is here, or Harold and Maude. You might actually find one in the store, and if you do, definitely pick it up because it's out of print. So,
know the value.
All right. Amazing Anna says, is there any good psychological suspense movies in the Criterion collection that would be recommended? Yeah, the one I have is The Game, which I think she would like that. What do you got, Tim?
Insomnia.
Oh, yes.
Great movie. So this is the original one, not the US remake that Nolan did.
Oh, never mind. I haven't seen it.
This is incredible. This is really good. It's the Nolan one did a lot of stuff beat for beat, but this is a darker tone, and the main character is way more sleazy and disgusting. Like this is you get a little more angry in this one, I'll say.
Yep.
Right,
yeah, The Vanishing is a really good one. That's a good one as well. A lot of good ones. Sounds of the Lambs.
Oh yeah.
All right, Amazing Anna says, I like him in Transformers. I
always the first Transformers. I legit think it's a legitimately good movie. I enjoyed the hell out of the first
Honey
one.
Boy, I think only has an umbrella release, so that could be another good Criterion one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I would have liked to see him direct Honey Boy. I would have liked to see, because it was his story, but he did write it. I would have just liked to see what he would have done if he directed it.
Oh, yes, Peanut Butter Falcon. That movie was emotional for me. Yep, Peanut Butter Falcon's great. Culture Trini, I'm good with Criterion not having slips. Yeah, I'm okay with it too. Yeah.
They look really nice on the shelf. I separate the digipacks and the regular ones out, and they just look really clean and nice on the shelf.
That's what I do. I can't be mixing that up.
Adam Kahn says, don't forget Tim's favorite, Disturbia was shot. Yeah, Disturbia is great as well.
Love that one.
Yep.
Mika says they have so much variety. That's why I've been enjoying them.
100%.
Love Disturbia as well. Yeah. Would love to see Criterion do Copycat. Great psychological thriller with Sigourney Weaver and Holly Hunter. I've never seen that one yet.
So good.
There's a lot of
so good, Mike.
Talking here.
Yeah. If you like Silence of the Lambs, you would love Copycat. It's so good. So good.
Culture Training, I get so much crud for being a Criterion. Why? Do people not like Criterion collecting?
I don't understand that.
It's like what James was saying. People think it's like artsy fartsy.
Yeah,
Criterion
is what you know.
You're hoity-toity if you collect it.
Really? Criterion?
How about I like movies?
I thought everybody collects Criterion. I guess is that just mainstream people? Because every collector I know at least has a couple Criterion titles. Like I don't understand that at all.
There's something about the connotation of Criterion equals artsy fartsy. It's just
like you're better than people or something. Like what?
I guess maybe you have better taste.
It's just a freaking label. It's a boutique label.
Exactly.
But,
collect what you want. That's the dumbest thing. If anybody attacks you for collecting Criterion, you're an idiot. Sorry.
Yeah. Like what's artsy fartsy about Breakfast Club? Like it's one of the biggest movies of the 80s. Like I don't know.
Or Hopscotch, or The In-Laws, I mean,
you got over 1,200 titles.
They have everything,
You got over 1,200 titles. They're one of the biggest labels. That is just that's stupid. If I heard anybody giving somebody crap, I'd be like, get lost, dude. you watch movies? Are you an idiot? Seriously?
All right. So we'll go quick through this bonus round because I don't want to keep everybody here too long. But any other honorable mentions or any cautionary Criterion tells? So we don't have to go round table on this style, but anybody just kind of want to say anything with this one at all?
I said Bull Durham, and I'm good with Bull Durham.
Super recommend this one if you're a fan of especially cinematography. There's great interviews on this. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful movie. Like I
totally agree.
Yeah, wonderful.
Totally agree. I don't have to show mine then.
Two-Lane Blacktop. This is a fantastic film. It's very simple. It's got James Taylor, the musician. He's the driver. You got one of the Beach Boys, Dennis. I forgot his name. Dennis something. He plays the mechanic. You got Laurie Bird, who plays the girl. and you've got Warren Oates who plays GTO. It's basically a road trip movie, Route 66. Just a nice slice of, America 50 years ago. Great film. Really enjoyed it.
Going back to what we were saying, before about Criterion titles that are good enough that you don't have to do the 4Ks. This is a 2K transfer of Pan's Labyrinth. I don't need the 4K. I don't need the 4K. And the same thing with this. I know a lot of people went for the 4K, but this is a 4K transfer on the Blu-ray. You don't need the 4K. And this has a lot better special features on it.
Yeah.
I also do want to note real quick, if for people that do like La La Land gained a lot of inspiration from this one.
Is that Umbrellas?
Yeah.
Umbrellas are sure.
Tim, I didn't realize how many people hated La La Land until that Rotten Tomatoes stream. And then the whole chat was like, I hate that movie. I'm with Sue. I hate it. I thought everybody loved La La Land.
I love that.
I love La La Land.
I like La La Land. I like musicals. So.
No,
I adore
Lowdown didn't like it.
I love it.
I was shocked.
I can't stand musicals. It's not anything against La La Land. I can't stand musicals, period.
Well, you know what? I'm not a big musical guy.
What about a musical that is more music based, like not necessarily a break out into song all the time, but this is still a musical? That's a good one.
I've always wanted to see that one. That one has a few different releases, right, from different labels, I think.
I don't know. I only know of this one.
I don't know.
No, is that the only one? The Criterion one?
It just came out.
That's a good one right there.
Yeah, but
hey, if you like that Fergie song, that's where it comes from.
This is loaded with 50s awesome music. It is it's a ton of fun, really. This was my introduction. I didn't know much about Jane Mansfield at all.
And you learn so much about her that you wouldn't think about. And you're like, you just wouldn't, you wouldn't think about her in that way, but it's like, wow.
Lowdown, I'm not a musical guy either, but I loved Anna and the Apocalypse. That is a good one. It's a fun one.
Okay.
It's a Christmas zombie musical, but it's fun.
There's another one I'm sure James will show it.
So good. Sweet Smell of Success. So good.
Yeah.
Burt Lancaster, Tony Curtis.
He's like,
I love vibing off you guys with the Criterion stuff. It's so much fun.
That's the Halloween collection because Tony Curtis is the father of Laurie Strode. Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's right. He's the Curtis.
That's the Halloween connection there. Michael Myers.
And some other ones I would recommend too. Raging Bull on 4K is great, amazing,
fantastic. Looks great in 4K.
A good starter one that a lot of people talk about, 12 Angry Men. So if you're trying to get into more classic titles, this is a good starter classic title.
Yes.
And then The Graduate is a great as well. I just don't know if this one's going to get a 4K. Like I could see this one getting a 4K, but still a great title.
Another starter classic. And this will be the last one I pull because I'll keep pulling out great movies.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What is that?
Oh, Anatomy of Murder, right?
Anatomy of Murder, and that has a 4K on the Columbia.
Yes.
Volume 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But I believe I compared the special features, and I think this still has more special features.
Yeah.
And then just some things to be a caution of that in case anybody's like a beginning collector. I'll just share a quick few little stories here. Make sure you do your research on your Criterion titles because once again, a lot of them, there's a large variety there. So not every title is going to be for everyone. So I know Pan's Labyrinth was mentioned. And I really like this title. This title is awesome, but I didn't know it was a foreign language film when I started watching. So I was all like freaking out. I'm like, wait, are my settings wrong or something? Like, what's going on here? Like, I'm like, oh no, that's right. It's a foreign language film. So just always look if films are foreign language films. If that matters.
Yeah, they tell you. So
yeah.
And then once again, with just a couple titles, I wish I didn't pick up. Because I know I'm not going to watch them again. Mulholland Drive, once again, we already mentioned this one. I watched it twice, still don't get it. Probably never going to watch it again. So I probably didn't.
But it's got Naomi Watts in it. Like
that's why you should keep it.
But it's got Naomi Watts in it.
Yes, I know. And then the one I probably most regret buying, The Seventh Seal. Never going to watch it again.
Not your cup of tea.
Amazing movie, important movie. It's just not my cup of tea. Like I'm just, I can't watch it again. So
Yeah.
I got the BFI
Totally
4K.
Yeah. I have another suggestion or tip. If you're going to go to a brick and mortar Barnes and Noble, please look to see if the title is 4K or Blu-ray, because the covers will be exactly the same.
Exactly
You
the
just
same.
have to look for the label. I've heard too many stories where people picked up the Blu-ray thinking it was a 4K,
Yeah.
or they didn't know the 4K was available. So always look out for that. Do your
Yeah,
research and your homework before you go to the store.
I got
Yeah,
a
the 4K will have that silver sticker, and the Blu-ray will
Mhm.
have that have that blue sticker. So definitely watch out for that.
I don't have any
Criterion
clothes,
could do
otherwise
better
I'd
on
show
that,
it.
though. I
Yeah.
wish Criterion did something to differentiate the two, especially imagine if they released it with a different cover.
That's
Like-
every one of these labels being lazy. Arrow Video, as much as I love
Arrow's
them,
doing the same thing.
artwork with the Blu-ray and 4K. Blue Underground, Synapse. Well, Synapse doesn't release too many 4Ks yet, but every label's doing that crap. They need to stop that
Mhm.
because they don't
That's true.
unlike Screen Factory, it actually has the banner on the top of it, so you'll know the difference. But yeah, some of it you don't know the difference. But I had a question for y'all about one title in particular. This title is probably one of the most controversial films I've ever seen. It was actually my introduction into Criterion, and I think probably one of my first introductions into special features. And I think they had like a sex therapist or like a rape
Sallow.
counselor. I'm talking about Straw Dogs.
Oh,
That's
I
a
thought you
good
meant
release.
Sallow.
That's a good
Yeah, I
release.
thought you were going sallow.
Yeah.
No, they had like a rape counselor on the special features. Did you guys watch the special features, James?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it. It's a tough film. I mean, it's got certain parts that are kind of tough, but overall, it's a good release. And it's Dustin Hoffman, Susan George in it, and it's a really good film.
It is. It was tough for me to get through it, not because it was necessarily the hard watch it was at certain parts. I don't know. I guess I found myself a bit bored by it. But when I watched the special features and listened to this woman speak about the movie, it made me want to go back and watch it. She actually paralleled one of the scenes to It Happened One Night.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love in special features, though, is it puts the movie, you can have a whole new context for it.
Yeah.
So like even an older movie that kind of was like, I brought up Breakfast at Tiffany's. There's a character that absolutely would not work nowadays. It is so racially insensitive and does not work. But you can have a conversation in the special features about that character. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, and for like a title like this, like Citizen Kane, I mean, it appears on a lot of like top movies ever. I can't say this is the greatest film ever, but when you go through the special features, you get a great appreciation for why it's as highly regarded as it is. Because if you watch it in today's world, you might come away thinking, oh, okay, I mean, it was all right, but I don't know why it's so highly regarded. But when you go through the special features, you really understand. Oh, okay, now I understand a little bit more about why it is revered as much as it is. I still don't think it's the greatest ever necessarily, but I at least have a more of appreciation for the movie based on learning more about it. So
yeah, film class in a box.
Yeah, film school in a box. Yep.
Perfect. All right. We can finish up the comments here, and then we'll just have everybody sign off and kind of promote themselves. So let's go through the rest of the comments. Let's see. Mika says, I was able to find that Del Toro 3-film box set in Barnes & Noble. I really wanted that set, but yeah, I couldn't get it online, and then I didn't see it at my Barnes & Noble. So Amazing Ann says, I like musicals, but I didn't care too much for La La Land. I like
sad. That's my attempt at being sad.
All right, Anna says, what Fergie song? The glamorous one? What is that?
Clumsy. It samples The Girl Can't Help It, which is that movie.
Girl Can't Help It.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
You can't help it.
All right, Culture Trini, a recommendations not for everyone: Secret Sunshine, Tampopo, and 2 Days, 1 Night, and Deepan.
I've heard so much about Tampopo.
It's really good.
All right, Mika says, great tips to be on the lookout for. Yeah.
Glad.
And then Craig says, good show. Thanks, fellows. Thank you so much, Craig, for being here, and everybody else out there in the audience. We appreciate it. So I'll give everybody a chance to kind of promote themselves, and then we'll close out here. So let me go ahead and go to the 4K lowdown.
Yay. Mike, thanks a lot. This has been a great show. I love this. There's some great movies that I can't wait to get. Tim, Bob, James, KB, you guys were great. Everybody should sub these guys. If you guys want to check my stuff out, I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Letterboxd, TikTok, and Instagram at the 4K Lowdown.
Awesome. All right, let's go to Tim. You're up.
Thank you, Mike, for inviting me for this. I had so much fun just vibing off everyone here about Criterion, man. I enjoy this stuff so freaking much. I had a blast. Absolutely great time. Echo all the same stuff that Dave just said about subscribe to everybody. But I had a blast, man. This was fun. That's literally what I do this for. It was fun. So thank you.
All right. KB loves movies.
Hey. First of all, thanks, Mike, for the invite. It's always fun to hang out with these guys. All of them. You're the only one I haven't had a conversation with, Mike. So coming up soon.
I'm ready.
Talking about the channel this week, we're finishing up spooky season with Pop's Movie Dungeon. That will be out tomorrow on Halloween, most effectively.
Love Pop.
Cool.
Also, later on in the week, I have a channel. Channel announcement. Just some changes coming up, and just more to come. So come check it out and give it a subscription. I'd appreciate it.
KB, I love your conversations. You do, man. Love them.
So
Thank
good.
you.
You're awesome.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff.
And thank you all for having conversations with me. I appreciate it.
Keep putting them out. I love them. Thank you.
Will do.
All right, James.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for inviting me tonight. Really, and I always love talking about Criterion titles, and this is a great time with the upcoming sales. So it's a great time of the year. So thanks again for having me, on your channel, and really had a great time with you and everybody here. So just had a blast, and of course got a lot of cool stuff coming up on my channel. 20th and 21st movies for November. A lot of it around some reviews of Criterion titles and just discussion of all things cinema. So looking forward to it. But again, thank you so much, and we'll be seeing you soon.
All right, and then Bob, you're up.
Bob's Blu-rays here. I need to just say one thing about how much I love Tim's passion. It is awesome. That is something I love about watching Tim stream. He always gets excited and passionate. But who doesn't love that? When you're on a channel, we don't want a robot. We want people that are lively and fun. So, Tim, that's awesome. Subscribe to everybody here. Thank you for having me. If I looked serious, that's because if I'm not smiling or laughing, I always have one look, and it's just a very serious look. But I had fun. So thank you, Mike. I apologize that I looked like a rusting bitch face, I guess.
I'm glad you said it.
Oh.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining me here tonight. Special thanks to the audience, of course. You guys were great with interaction, with all the comments and questions that made this a really fun live stream. So I hope we prepared everybody out there. And now everybody, I'm sure, has a giant shopping list going into next month. So that should be a lot of fun. And hopefully, I'll have to chat it out with these guys up here. Maybe we can do a Criterion sale post-game show to kind of show off all the Criterion titles we got. So that would be a really fun idea. Hopefully, we can do that at the end of the month. That would be great. From my channel, we got some great stuff coming up. I'll be doing my November preview video on my channel, just to let you guys know what I'm going to get in the month of November. And then also Top Gun Maverick 4K Steelbook that comes out this week. my favorite movie of the year. So I'm definitely going to be doing a full unboxing and review of that. So if you love that movie, you're definitely going to want to check that out. So once again, make sure you subscribe to everybody's channels. All their links are in the description below, especially if you're watching on the replay. Definitely do that as well. And if you're just discovering me for the first time, I appreciate the subscribing as well and liking and commenting all the videos. So once again, thank you guys so much. And once again, thank you to my co-hosts all here today for accepting the invitation, joining me. It was a blast talking Criterion, and you guys had such great Criterion knowledge. Like, I'm like, okay, you guys put so many movies on my radar, on my shopping list now that like I'm super excited for this sale month. Hopefully I don't overspend. But yeah, we're gonna call it a night here. So just remember, everybody, make every day a movie day. Have a good night, everybody, and have a good Halloween out there.
Peace.
Thanks.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.